gamers, and welcome to episode 419 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade for June 10th, 2023. Wow, Dominic, 2023.
Yeah, it's finally 2023, Dan.
Yep. I'm one of your hosts, Daniel Nicholson, and with me is my co-host, Dominic Stallworth. What's going on this week, Dominic?
Man, a lot, man. This is the beginning of like the Summer Game Fest, so we're going to see a lot of gaming news. We already got some today as of this recording, and then as of this recording, we got tomorrow and Monday. We recording Saturday, you should say. This is gonna be like basically like part one, and then we're gonna have to come back on Monday night to talk about the others and put it all together. Yeah. But yeah, I always love this time of the year, man. To see the news that's going to happen, like the stuff like I'm really anticipating the new stuff, and then the stuff I don't like or something like that. Or I see something that disappoints me and say, "Oh, this doesn't look as good" and stuff. But
we're looking at you, Sony.
This is always, this is like a great time for people in the gaming. It's like the best time around. Some of the best, except for the end of the year when you get all the good games coming out. Let's just do it. But it's cool.
Yeah.
All right, so this podcast, we're going to do something different. We're not going to do our traditional way structure. We're just going to, because there's going to be a lot of news to talk about. So we're just going to go right to gaming news. And then next week's podcast, we go back to the regular schedule. So I guess we get into the gaming news then, Dan. So what we got?
Yeah, so you actually clued me into this one. This wasn't really related to any of the press conferences or whatever that came out, but apparently there was a leak by Atlas on their Instagram. They pretty much posted these too early that Persona 3 Reload, which is the remaster, remake, whatever, of Persona 3, is coming in early 2024, and Persona 5 is getting a tactics game called Persona 5 Tactica, and that is going to be coming out November 17th of this year, and both are going to be launching day one on Game Pass, Dominic.
Yeah, that's awesome. So my Persona prediction is wrong for this year, so we already know, because I had, like, they were going to do a new game, like 20 new characters or something like that, but nah, they're doing a remake. I mean, this is still good news. I mean, they're doing a remake, and unfortunately, I just played that fucking game. So doing a remake of it is like, darn, I'm not going to play it right away. I mean, I'm happy it's a remake though. Yeah. But I don't know. Maybe it's enough difference in there that it will make it so that it's somewhat new. Yeah, that I wouldn't
jump
mind
back into that.
Going back.
The Persona 5 stuff pretty quickly, right?
Well,
or was
how many years ago
4?
was that? Last year I played Persona 5.
Right.
The
new one.
But
was it really that long?
Oh yeah. Yeah. But you don't remember I played Persona 5 when it first came out.
Right. But that wasn't that long ago.
How many years ago was that?
I hate what you're going to say next, Dominic. You're going to be like, it was 10 years ago.
It wasn't that long.
I know, I'm exaggerating,
but yeah, that was, I think that was far enough apart.
Oh, yeah. No way. It didn't come out in 2017, did it?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That sounds right.
Oh, yeah. I hate that, Dominic. So, I thought it was like 2 years apart. Jeez.
2 years apart from when it originally came out. Probably the what's it called? The Royale edition. Yeah. That really, but not when it got to PC and Game Pass.
Yeah.
So it's been a while. So I don't know. I mean, I'll see where I'm at when this game comes out. But yeah, that tactics game I'm curious about too, like what to do, because I did like that other game, the one that was like done by what was it called? Was it called Warriors? What's it called? Persona 5. I mean, it's like a Warriors game, but it's called. Shoot. I forgot what it was called.
Strikers, right?
Strikers. Okay, Strikers. All right. Yeah, I like Strikers. So, yeah. So there, at least it's like a new genre, like another new genre. To mess with, and we'll see how that is. So yeah, that's cool for Persona fans too, man. I know they're really happy about this, and it's cool for Xbox fans, like Xbox and PC fans, because like they for the longest they would never touch any other console except for PlayStation. Yeah. Oh, and Switch. I mean, I don't know what's coming on Switch though.
I think I saw something about those coming to Switch too.
Okay, then that's good. Yeah.
Yeah. That'll definitely be good. All right, Dominic, so now we get into the big showcases here. Well, really just the one big showcase, and then we'll also talk a little bit about Devolver stuff because that occurred too.
All right.
Jeff Keighley's Summer Games Fest 2023 had its showing. I initially did not watch the majority of this because it came on at, I think, like 3 o'clock Eastern time. It wasn't like a nighttime event originally, so I wasn't home to watch it. And then
Which is really early then in West Coast then.
Yeah. I think it was like 12 o'clock.
Like
yeah,
people skipping work, man. Come on, man.
It's really weird. But that show kicked off with Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. Now, this is a brand new game set in like a side-scrolling situation. It's full 3D models, of course, but it's a side-scroller, just like that Castlevania game that they came out with that one time. This is coming out January 18th, 2024. It looks like you were not necessarily playing the Prince of Persia. You were attempting to like save the kidnapped Prince of Persia or something. It looks all right. What did you think about that one?
Yeah, it does. It does look all right. But I'm wondering. So this has nothing to do with the remake.
It doesn't seem like it. No.
Okay, because I was thinking. I honestly thought it was like, oh, they stopped the remake. I thought this was like the remake, and it just made it 2D. Yeah, I was like,
I mean, it sounds like they're basically back to the drawing board with that remake. It sounds like they just rebooted development on that entirely after the initial like poor reception of it, and then it's the delay that they saw.
But I mean, hey, Prince of Persia, this is what it originally was, and now let's see how this one goes. Like how's this one? So yeah, I mean, it looked good.
It definitely wouldn't want something like that original game where there's like no momentum, whatever. You got to like walk to the very edge of the thing and then jump. Yeah, I don't want that. So definitely looks like an improvement. So, yeah, that looked good. After that was Mortal Kombat 1. Now, this was showing a lot of gameplay. We had previously just kind of seen, X-ray stuff and what looked like mostly, it's probably in-engine stuff, but it was mostly the in-between and some additional CG stuff. This showed a lot of gameplay. There's going to be what they're calling cameos. It's basically like summons. They said it's not like tagging. You're not going to have multiple characters, but you are going to select multiple characters at the beginning of the fight. So for instance, you can choose Johnny Cage, and then you can have a cameo of Kano or Sonya Blade, and basically you press a button for them, they come in, they do like a special move, they shoot your eyeball laser or whatever. Which if you're Kano.
We already had sort of got familiar with that. If you do the towers, the special towers, they have things where like, like this guy will come in and throw his hat, like the Hat Man. That's kind of yeah. So that's what it seemed like this just goes more in depth with it. Like this is real. Then now it's within the game. Like this is, and it does. They do more.
Yeah, because you can like integrate them into your combos and stuff.
Yeah.
And it seems like you can also like have them do a finishing move. It's definitely like a cool addition or kind of transformation of the Mortal Kombat gameplay, because you can only keep doing the same exact thing over and over so many times, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So
and also the look of the story, like because of the time change, like everything's different now. Like this is all new, and Johnny Cage, he doesn't look like the model that we used to see.
Nah.
But but Van Damme is speaking for him now. That was like the big thing. So that's their big star now. Jean-Claude Van Damme is going to be speaking for Johnny Cage.
Better actor than Ronda Rousey, so I'll take it.
That's what I say. Hopefully, Ronda Rousey's not come back as Sonya Blade. But yeah, so I'm curious about that. If like how I was curious about the story. Yeah, like this totally new story and everything. Man, the game looks incredible. Like it looks really good.
Definitely. Yeah, I do wonder how they're going to handle the story, because it's interesting seeing all those cameos. Like you see Kano and he's showing up in the white garb that he wears in the first game, and you see Sonya and she's in the green spandex. You see Jax, he doesn't have the metal arms yet. No. So it's like,
and Raiden is look like just a regular human.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's cool that you're seeing like the same old familiar characters, but they are, even though like some of them are being called back to like their original costumes, it almost feels like a brand new interpretation on that character. You also see some of the newer guys, like what's his name, Kenshi, the blind swordsman guy. He's in there.
Yeah.
So I remember liking him as a character.
Yep, you see him when he had eyes.
Yeah.
So I was joking.
You're gonna see him lose those eyes. Yeah. So that looked good. After that, they showed off Path of Exile 2. That's coming out July 28th.
Which is funny. I just started playing that. Yeah, I was playing the original one.
Yep.
And now I just see like, oh, they're doing. Yeah, that's right. They were. We did hear about they were doing it too. I totally forgot. But yeah, I mean, you could have told me that was Diablo 4, and I would have like, yep.
Yeah, sure it looks a lot. Yep. Looks a lot like that. I also had thought it was Baldur's Gate 3, because I had heard that they talked a little bit about that, and I was like, oh, is that Baldur's Gate? No. So it's a treasure trove of those style games right now, Dominic.
Yeah.
After that, they showed off Street Fighter Cross Exoprimal. Capcom's going to do what they're calling a collab, and that's coming out fall of 2023. It was like Guile and Ryu as robots fighting dinosaurs. That looks like
Exoprimal is not even out yet. I mean, that's why I was really confused about like what was happening. I was just thinking like, oh, new Street Fighter skins. Then it said Exoprimal. So, oh. Yeah, that's like I don't even know what that game is.
That comes out like July, I think, like July 20-something. They did tack on the end of that trailer like, hey, Exoprimal available on this date, but I didn't write it down. It is going to be on Game Pass day one, though, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so that means it's going to be mid, as the kids say on Twitter.
Jesus. All right, Dominic. Next up was Witchfire. That game is going to have early access launch on September 20th. This is made by, I'm guessing People Can Fly, because it said from the creators of Painkiller and Bulletstorm. So unless some of those guys splintered off and created a new studio, it looks pretty cool. It's
People
kind
Can't
of like,
Fly. They changed the name.
Yeah. Basically like a kind of a Witcher style setting, like a fantasy setting, but it's fast paced gunplay action. That looks pretty cool. And with
it did.
That pedigree,
it did look cool. I wonder with the early access stuff, like I'm gonna mostly wait and see with that, I guess. Yeah.
And we'll see how that turns out. Hopefully good. Next up, Dominic, was Sonic Superstars. That's coming out this fall. Basically, 2D Sonic is back, but, full 3D environments and model.
Yeah, that trailer, when I saw him going back and forth with the digital, like the old digital Sonic and the new form, I could almost hear like the crowd say no when they went to the newer side. I said no, and I was too, man. I was like, yeah, go back, stay there. It's like, and it went to, but if it plays like a Sonic game, then fine. Even though the art, graphically it looks fine. Yeah. Even though I still would prefer the pixelated stuff, but no, graphically looks fine. I just hope it plays like Sonic. And I hope there's some distinction too. Just like the other Sonic games with the other characters. Like they mostly do the same thing, but they got something extra. Like Sonic's usually the one that he's the hardest one, like because he can't glide and fly. And I don't know what the fuck Amy gonna do. I don't know if they do some hammer or something. But yeah, and that guy, that Purple Fox guy, what game was he? What was the first game he was in?
I'm trying to think if he was in that one with like the crocodile and them, like Sonic's friends in that one or not.
Yeah, because I'm like, I don't remember him. Like, I remember Sonic. Well, not, it wasn't Chaos. It was called something else. It had like a silver looking almost hedgehog thing, and
Is that
I don't
Chaotix?
think the other thing was
Sonic Chaotix?
no. Oh no. This was only like Game Gear.
Okay.
What was it called? Yeah, Sonic Triple Trouble.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what it was called. That is him. That's the Purple Fox and Sonic Triple Trouble. Yes, they bringing him back. You know what? Great.
You're on board now, Dominic.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I wish they would have kept it old school. Yeah, because I recognized him when I saw him on Chasing Sonic. I was like, what is... I said, I've seen that thing before. But then I saw like him going to that new screen. So, oh, no. I was like...
Ah, yes. Good old Knack the Weasel, Dominic.
Yeah, hopefully it's no Big Sacat and Crocodile Wild and what's the other things in there, like the little bat thing. Yeah, I don't give a fuck about those guys.
You got to bring them back. They brought them back in Sonic Mania. They can bring them back here.
Oh, man, Sonic Triple Trouble. Looking at this box art, man. God, that gives back memories. Oh, my goodness. Man, I got to play that game again. All right, man. So what else we got?
All right, next up, Dominic, Lies of P, more Pinocchio.
Oh, did it have a release date?
No, it was just fall of this year.
Yeah, but yeah, it's coming this year. That's cool, though. Yeah. Go ahead. Lies of P, all right.
Lies of P, that's coming out September 19th, and they announced that there is a demo out there now, which you have tried some of. Dominic, what did you think?
Yes. Yeah, it's a Souls-like game, and, you know, I'm not a big fan of Souls-like games.
Yeah.
But I got to the very first boss. It kept dying, and then I stopped. But it plays like the other minions that I fought before that were pretty easy. So I was like, yeah, this is kind of easy. You know, like killing these guys. And the only reason I got killed or died is because like I was probably doing something I was supposed to be doing, and I just wasn't paying attention. But like, always like mess with the buttons. Like I was trying to just see like what else could I do, what other moves I could do, and things of that nature. Because like Souls like games, it don't hold your hand or anything. Like things you pretty much learn on your own. So if you're into the Souls game, you probably could just get right into it. While me, I'm not really into them, so I was going right through. But yeah, I haven't played all the way through the demo because I just kept down at the first guy. I'll probably play some more and try to get past it. But the atmosphere is great. The look of it. I mean, I ran on my PC. My PC is pretty old, and it ran pretty well. So they optimized it pretty well. Well, at least the demo, anyway. So yeah, I mean, I'm not like I said, you have to get a Souls player to really tell you like how is it like, because I can't. Like I haven't played it enough to say it's better than other Souls games. I just like the look of it better than other Souls games. I say that. that's it.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a good looking game, and I know some of the like kind of weird interpretations of Pinocchio creatures, like, you know, you have your whale in there, but instead they have like this sub that's like painted like a whale or a shark. That seemed kind of cool.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely intrigued by that game. Like, I do want to give the demo a try and see if it's a game that's like maybe not quite Dark Souls enough that I might actually like it. But from what you're saying, it's probably going to be something I bounce off of pretty quickly. So, all right. After that, Dominic, we had Sandland. This is a new game from the Dragon Ball creator. What is his name?
Yeah.
I had the name in my head, and then as I went to try and pronounce it, I just like it vanished. Akira Toriyama, I think it is. Basically, you know, if you've seen Dragon Ball, you've seen Dragon Quest. It's a game in that art style.
That's why I thought it was Dragon Quest. I was like, oh, it was a Dragon Quest game, and then I saw something new, but yeah, I wonder. It how this because it looks like it's like a Dragon Quest meets Borderlands or something.
Yeah, it's a little more action
exactly
focused than
yeah,
Dragon Quest. It looks like, and it looks all right. I think it
yeah, it
looks
does.
pretty cool. They announced real quickly that there's going to be an Annapurna showcase coming on June 29th at this show. So I'm going to have some more news after that, I'm sure, because Annapurna puts out some pretty good video games. They're a very good publisher.
Yeah, one of the games was Game of the Year. Was our Game of the Year.
All right, next up was Throne and Liberty. The way they first advertised this game, I was fully expecting it to just be a phone game that I was not going to put on here. But then the gameplay that they were showing looks like it's a full-on 3D action game. It's basically like Game of Thrones world, that kind of fantasy setting. And you can turn into a bird and stuff like that while you're, traveling the world. And it's made by Amazon Games, which might as well make it a mobile game, because I feel like every game that Amazon has put out so far has just come and gone with like the faintest of whimpers, like just ridiculous.
And this is a multiplayer. It's a multiplayer game, right? Like you're playing against everybody and shit.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah. So see, that's what I was into it until I saw like you're fighting PvP people and stuff like that, and I was like, man, this is like, is this Fortnite in like olden times or something? Yeah. Man, I was like, I was hoping for like a nice single player story or something.
I mean, they're calling this an MMO. Like, are we sure that
it's an MMO?
This isn't just?
Oh, okay.
Are we sure that this isn't just their last MMO, New Worlds or whatever, reskinned? Like, what is Amazon doing? They're like, every 6 months we got to put out a new MMO RPG.
Yeah, this is weird. Like, yeah, the three big games we know are all MMOs. What was the other one before? What was it? Last World, and what's the other one?
What was the other one? Let's see. Amazon Game Studios games. Of course, you only want to show me the two ones that we know the names of. Let's say games. Lost Ark.
Yeah.
What
the hell's going on with that game?
That is a good question. Let's look at their official site. You can play it for free now.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now I'll try it.
That one at least looks kind of like a little more Diablo-like,
The Diablo-less, yeah. I actually, yeah.
Yeah, so that you can play free. I can
deal with that.
All right, so after that, we saw Party Animals. So we had seen this in the past. This one is like Gang Beasts, kind of.
Yeah.
He's cutesy, but like very wiggly and probably hard to control animal, human-like things. Just doing little fun party games. That's coming out September 20th. I told you I had swore this game had come out previously. I feel like we've seen it plenty of times, but maybe I'm just like conflating it with Gang Beasts. I don't know.
It looks fun.
Yeah. After that was some gameplay of Alan Wake 2. That's looking pretty good. It looks a whole lot like Resident Evil 4, Dominic. Like, it seems like they're going
it definitely does.
Action heavy with this one. But still, like a little more survival stuff. Not full action, but a little more competent shooting, I guess. So that looks really good. Then they showed off Space Marine 2. That is coming out this winter. No firm release date yet. That's looking good as well. You were telling me that you were co-op. Back playing that original one a little bit.
Yeah, I was back because I never played it. I mean, I only played the demo, so I never played through the game. But I had it, and so I played it, and I mean, it was fun. It's a fun game. It's like not that good as Gears, but in between that and a bad game. And so
it's a double A Gears.
It's actually competent. I mean, It's more than competent. Like I actually
above
enjoy
average
playing it, stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. And this one that I remember saying that now, wish this was like co-op when I was playing the demo, and now they said three player co-op, just like how Gears was. Well, the recent Gears anyway.
Yeah.
Well, actually more so because the recent Gears was like 3 player co-op, one person's a robot, and that wasn't very fun.
It's just
to be the robot.
Yeah. It's silly. All right. After that, Dominic, was John Carpenter's Toxic Commando. This is releasing in 2024, and man, there was nothing like distinctive about this whatsoever. It just looked.
I mean, it was just a zombie. It looked like this is a zombie shooter.
Yeah.
It was gonna be. So, I mean, we got enough of. I mean, you got. Is it gonna be better than Redfall? Maybe. Hopefully.
That's a low bar now.
It better be better than Redfall. I mean, that game's horrible. So is it gonna be better than Back for Blood or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, maybe this will be the one. Or Dead Island, Dying Light. Like, what is that? What's going to be distinct about this one than Dying Light, Dead Island?
It's got John Carpenter's name on it, Dominic.
Because that's what it mostly looked like. I was trying to think of it. Yeah, Dead Island, Dying Light. It looks like it's along that vein. It could be still a fun game then. If it's just like that, it'd still be a fun game. But yeah, a John Carpenter, and like I'm not a big John Carpenter guy, so
yeah. There's just something about like this game having his name on it that makes me feel like they're like, we got John Carpenter's name on it. That'll sell a couple of copies. We're not gonna put a lot of effort into this.
That's what I'm about to say. It's like, what is it? Just like how they did what was that game? Was it the Kiss game that they did?
It was a Kiss game.
It was. Yeah, is it gonna be like that? Like horrible.
How dare you, Dominic? That game was amazing.
Was there another Rockstar? Was there another Rockstar game that was horrible?
I feel like
there
Metallica
is. No, not Metallica.
No.
It's something to do with like hell and shit.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Because it's not just. I mean, there was that Kiss game, but wasn't there another one? You're thinking of like Unreal or Doom like era, right? Like somewhere around there.
Yeah,
like
yeah, it's
PC.
yeah.
Man, I'm trying to think of it. And I don't.
I think it was on PlayStation, like PlayStation 1 or something. It was. Yeah,
the Aerosmith game, right?
Aerosmith did he go to hell? I mean, it looked like he was fighting demons.
They didn't go to hell. No. Let's see. Of course, it brings up Metal Hellsinger when I just type in metal shooting game. Early 2000s. I mean, maybe it is just the Kiss game.
Kiss, maybe that's what it was.
Yeah. Kiss Psycho Circus.
Yeah, that's probably was it.
Yeah.
Probably just that. Yep.
I mean, there's also that heavy metal game, which, was kind of similar in the same vein. Like it wasn't band branded, but it was like based on that magazine.
Yeah.
The big boobs and stuff.
Is Draconis Cult of the Worm? Is that a band?
I don't know. Maybe.
No, okay. No. I just saw like under other
Might
searches.
Also be a
people
Harry
also
Potter
search
spell.
this. Yeah.
All right. Next up, mentioned it earlier, but Baldur's Gate 3. That's coming out on August 31st, 2023.
This makes me want to play the other Baldur's Gate because you know what? It was always I didn't have a PC really. I mean, I don't know if my PC could play it or not. At the time, but I see it in magazines, and then I was looking at some games. I was on PlayStation. Say, hey, this is Baldur's Gate. Something else. This is like basically, and some people. I mean, I was on the internet, but I'm sure people were saying, hey, this is the baby version of Baldur's Gate because this is for the console people.
Yeah,
like the dumbed down version or something like that. But yeah, it's a game. You know what? I just never picked up. I always read about. I'm going to download now. Just like I did Space Marines. I said I was going to get back. I'm going to download that game now.
There you go.
And get it to you. Do you have that anywhere in a Humble Bundle or something?
I don't know. I'd have to look. If it's not in my Steam library, then maybe not. All right, next up, we got another release date announcement, Dominic. Spider-Man 2 officially getting its release date of October 20th, 2023. So that is locked in now. We have that to look forward to. They didn't have a new trailer or anything. There was like a quick video, but it was just like, boom, release date. So obviously looking forward to that, but they didn't show anything.
Yep, so they got the release date. So now the Sony fans were like, see, there you go. It's coming out October, so now they got the release date.
Oh, wait a second, Dominic. When does Starfield come out?
A month later from that. Earlier or later? It's
earlier,
a month away, I know
September.
that.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's what somebody was saying. It was like, oh, good, it's a month away from Starfield.
I was really hoping it was the same day.
Say we're delayed on that day.
All right, next up, Dominic, was Pal World. I love to see that this is getting
a
big stage showing.
Yes, and because now I've seen other people really talk. I've seen them talk about like some people were like, oh man, it's a Pokemon with guns or something like that. While some people are like, yay, Pokemon with guns. That's what I'm like. I'm like, I just want a better Pokemon game. Yeah. Go like this. I don't even care they got guns. I have feel like this game should be better than the last Pokemon game. That's all I'm saying. Like, I know that's like thinking but that just tells me how low a bar I had that Pokemon was for me. Because that really like Pokemon should be like I shouldn't expect them to be even close to Pokemon. But because Pokemon doesn't take as big as a leap
doesn't
as
take
it
itself
should,
seriously.
and that too. I mean, come on. The game that we got on the Switch probably could have come out on GameCube. Like, what are we doing? Like, Pokemon should be, or at least the Wii. At minimum, the Wii. And
I think you were right. GameCube. They really should have been doing games like that from that point in time. So,
Power World, man, I'm rooting for them. And like, it's not even about the violence and stuff. It's just to having a better Pokemon game.
Yeah.
And that's what I hope it is.
Because I will tell you, Dominic, I had paused that video during the Pal World thing and then went to a different video. And then I came back and I was like, oh, they're showing off Pokemon stuff. And then I was like, oh, wait, I'm just watching the Pal World thing. Because those designs for the Pal World mons or whatever, like,
they are Pokemon.
Definitely
Pokemon. Yeah. But you know what? Go ahead. They fucked me over.
Yep.
But they ain't really fucked me over. I ain't bought a game, but still, my time I'm playing the one before this. The what was it called? The one you got,
Sword and Shield.
Yeah, Sword and Shield, man.
Yeah, just low effort. All right, Dominic. Next up after that was the Lord of the Rings: Return to Moria. This is coming out fall 2023. So to make up for Gollum, I guess they're like, hey. Dominic specifically said that he wanted to play as Gimli, so here's a game where you play as one of these guys. Plays a dwarf.
Yeah. I mean, I like the whole aspect of you getting Moria back. But it looks like, is it going to be like a tower defense, or you look like you're building stuff? In that trailer. So I wonder what's the deal. Is it a tactics game, or is it a mixture of action and tactics?
It is apparently a survival game, is how it is being classified.
Oh shit! Well, no. I mean, I hope it's good for those people who like those games.
Yeah,
I hope it's really good for you. Because god damn it, I do not like survival games.
Yes, according to its description on the Epic Store here, it follows the dwarves as they embark on a new journey to reclaim their legendary home of Moria beneath the Misty Mountains. Players will join forces to survive, craft, build, and explore the iconic
So you play with other
mines.
people? Oh, man.
Yep.
So it's not like a singular... basically you're never going to find Moria.
Moria is the friends we make along the way, Dominic. All right. After that was I guess that game. Sorry, I paused for a minute because I guess that game got delayed because the trailer that they have here on the Epic Store said spring 2023, and now it is fall 2023.
Oh,
so
Oh no, it already came out. We missed it.
No, nobody just cares and didn't report on it getting delayed. All right. Next up was Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis. This is a phone game coming out on Android and iPhone. They're doing closed beta testing right now for it. It looks like a mix of the remake and the old games because there's bits where
are these free to play games or you have to buy them?
I think they're free to play games because when I went to the website to see if you could like register for the closed beta, they had things about
too.
Like coins and tokens and like bullshit like that.
Did you I was able to register.
I wasn't either. I pre-registered, which just sounds like it will download the game when it releases. It's nothing related to the actual like beta test or anything. So.
Yeah. But thing is, Daniel, I was there when they said that. I was at my computer. I went to the site. It was going slow. It didn't take that long, but then I did it a bit. I did refresh like a couple of times, and then I got in. The beta is over. It sounds like the beta. So thank you for it's like something like that. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh, you didn't remember the time that you played, Dominic? Wasn't that incredible?
So I said, fuck it. I was giving the phone game a chance. Oh, now you mentioned that. I did download Diablo Immortals.
Oh, okay.
On my phone, even though you can get it on PC too. I think I downloaded on PC. Did I download on PC too? Yeah, I got that. I just played a little bit to see how it is. I mean, it's a Diablo game, and you play it on phone, and it's all right. And then I downloaded the Star Wars Heroes because the Google thing says, "Hey, these other games people play." That's okay. That's like, but I remember that. I remember always seeing like stories on that too, you know, on Game Informer, like, hey, these new heroes are in the Star Wars games. And I tried that. I didn't play enough of it to really judge it. But it looks like it's like a turn-based kind of RPG kind of thing. Cause like you decide when to hit and then they hit and something like that. I don't know. I don't know if I'll be into that, but I've been playing a lot of Marvel Snap though, and I know you got some news on that. Oh yeah, well we get to that. Like you got the news up here, right? Where's Marvel Snap? I
didn't, but I'm pulling it up now. They're adding. I just saw it. A conquest mode.
I guess you. Yes. The past week would have been like, skip this, Daniel. But since now I tried the game and everything, I now we got to talk about it.
Yeah, and of course they're adding Spider-Man stuff. You know, with the movie that just came out, Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, unfortunately, I gotta pay for it right now. I have to hope I just get it free somehow. But that game, I mean, it's fun. I'm actually got in the rabbit hole a little bit. I went to this website where you can put your cards up there, what you have, and try to see like what if your deck's any good. And I was seeing other people like other decks that say, hey, these are some good decks that can win like certain percentage of games, but I just don't have those cards, man. And I was like, I just don't have those cards. I gotta, so I'm still kind of just playing, just trying to unlock the cards so I can have the deck I really want. Yeah. Cause I learned about that Deathloop, guy, like, cause there's our cards that are that do stuff when you do destroy them. So it's like, it's good to have that card, but if you have, that's what somebody said, like you had this card in the other deck, it's pointless. I mean, unless you just putting it where you're going to have no cards.
Right. Gotcha. All right. So next up, Dominic, we have Banishers, Ghost of New Eden. We had seen this previously. This is the new Don't Nod game. It's saying it's coming out at the end of 2023, and it looks pretty good.
What the Don't? Oh yeah, the Don't Nod. Yes. Yeah, it does. They definitely different from
Life is Strange.
What's it called? Life is Strange. Yeah.
Yeah, they have such a weird catalog. Like when you go back and actually look at it, because they had like that vampire game, which was a little more actiony, but also still kind of did the choice thing. Yeah, but yeah, this looks pretty good. We'll see how that turns out.
Do they have a release date?
No, just the end of 2023 is what they said.
Okay.
This one, though, did have a release date, November 9th, for Like a Dragon Gaiden, The Man Who Erased His Name. I wrote game here.
I wouldn't know. See, now I got to play the last Like a Dragon, man, because I I gotta know what the hell is going on. Like what? I mean, I still gotta play the other Yakuzas too. I gotta play 4 through 6. But yeah, man, that was he just said, "What's your name?" and say that something about what he say. He has no name. I don't have
one. Yeah,
but name. Yeah, I was like, "What the fuck do you mean? You're Kiryu."
Yeah,
you're Kiryu-san.
Not anymore, Dominic.
But yeah, man, Yakuza. But I just find it funny because I was first seeing Yakuza and playing it a long time ago on PlayStation. I thought it was an okay game. The very first one, it was okay, and but I always kind of compared it to Shenmue or something,
right?
Karate and kind of it wasn't really open world. You still had to go play. Well, even Shenmue wasn't really open world either. I mean, you still go to different screens, but it makes you feel like you're traveling to places. But I always thought it's probably not as good as. I mean, I never played Shenmue. I know people because they got the scores were kind of similar, so it's I don't think the first Yakuza got the first Yakuza didn't get I don't think it got high scores. I think it just got average scores.
Yeah.
So I was it's probably just another Shenmue game, which is funny because Shenmue is Sega. But that has far surpassed that game, in so much. It's just funny how Shenmue, is always looked at as, because of what potential it had, but it never could get there. But then you got the game like Yakuza, that it just, went a similar, it's similar to what you thought Shenmue, hey, you can do all these things. You can do all this stuff in this world that's crazy, but still have a serious story.
Yeah.
I think the guys at Shenmue just didn't have it. I don't know.
I think you just need to go back and play Shenmue. It's going to turn out that's going to be one of your favorite games.
No, I did try. I tried to play when they had the HD stuff on Xbox, and I hate the controls. All right, so what else we got, man?
All right, next up was Under the Waves. This is coming out August 29th this year, and it reminds me a lot of Subnautica, which I know you got into there for a while. What did you think of this one?
Yeah. I gotta look at it again. Well, you know what? It reminded me also of the movie, the Wes Anderson movie.
Life Aquatic.
Yeah, because Daniel, I was thinking oh my god, this is Life Aquatic 2 in a game, game form. I was but because it's the way that ship looks. But yeah, it looks very explorationist and mystery and stuff.
Yeah,
underwater. So, I'm curious. Because I do like those. I do like those type of games.
You know what I did not realize, Dominic? This is a Quantum Dreams game. David Cage's studio.
Oh man, no, I'm surprised. Well, then a lot of people are going to say boycott it, huh?
I just wonder what that means for this game. Am I going to have to press 6 buttons just to swim forward? Oh, maybe they're just okay. I think they're just publishing it. The studio is Parallel Studio. Okay, that makes me feel different.
What's the name of the game again? Under the Waves.
Under the Waves, yeah. All right, after that, Dominic, was Fae Farm. This is a Harvest Moon. I feel like we've seen this one before. Harvest Moon, but there's more adventuring, basically like Stardew Valley does it. That's coming out September 8th, 2023. Next up was Immortals of Avium. We have seen this many times now at this point. This is the EA original one. Basically, you're a battle mage in first person. You're doing all sorts of hand gestures to do magic spells. The gameplay that they showed looked pretty all right. You're battling around this huge mech that's walking across the ocean or something. It could be cool. I wonder if it's gonna live up to the potential that it has. That's coming out July 20th. So
man, that's a lot sooner than I thought it.
We shall see soon whether that game turns out good or not. All right, next up was Fortnite. They're going into their next season. I think it's Chapter 3, Season 4 now. In this trailer, they showed off people riding dinosaurs. Optimus Prime is there. So, yeah, you got a little Optimus Prime that is the size of the humans now.
Yeah, human. Yeah, it looked weird. It looked very weird. But it's just like every movie now is like, okay, so it's got to be like a Fortnite thing now. Like when I see a movie come out, I say, oh, a Fortnite thing's gonna come out. So when the Flash comes out, they're gonna probably do something.
Oh yeah,
like
Ezra Miller's gonna be in there. They're gonna turn the island into Hawaii so they can just beat everybody up. Going on coke-filled benders or whatever. Yeah, Fortnite still doing its thing. And then the big thing, the to cap the show off, was a trailer for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. This is the next installment in the remake. It is officially coming out early 2024. And Dominic, big news, it is coming on 2 discs.
Oh, man. Yeah, that was I was confused, man. 'Cause I'm like,
as you should be.
Who tells, like, who says that? Like, who does that? Who tell you, hey, we're going to be on 2 discs? Like, why advertise that? But I guess it's for them to show that, hey, this game is huge. Like, we couldn't even fit it on one PS5 disc. We gotta get 2 of them. And I wonder, is it really that huge, or is just like compression stuff? Like, hey, you just in compression, you know? And just because a game is on 2 discs doesn't mean it means the game has a lot. It probably it could be video. Who knows? I don't know. It could be other graphical things that has nothing to do with the like actual playing the game. Like I mean, like time, like it'll be a longer game. And plus, it doesn't matter. Like most likely, I will be getting digital if I had a PS5. So it's like 2 disc things. Like, yeah, that's nice.
It does make me wonder, though, like we were talking about before we started recording, like, does that mean we'd actually be able to play this game right off of the disc with the 2 discs? Or am I still going to need to be connected to the internet to download some content? Feels like there's not a lot of transparency about these consoles. Like, how many games can I take a PS5, not have it connected to the internet, put the disc in, and actually play? Same with the Xbox, not to just single out the PlayStation, but like, how many games is that actually true of? Or is like the majority of the games, are they going to tell me, nope, you got to be connected to the internet to launch this game, even if it's just for the first time? Because
people were so mad at that, man. You remember when Xbox One was launching?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So we'll see. I mean, they're definitely doing something interesting with this. Like, the trailer looked good, and at the end of the trailer, you see Sephiroth slice at Tifa, and he's like, you know that I kill her, but you don't know who her is. And we know, based on that first game, that they're willing to kind of like change things around and mess with that original story. So I think that's like the most compelling aspect of these remakes, is just their willingness to actually like subvert that original story a bit. And not that I want to see them kill Tifa over killing Ares or whatever, but like, the fact that they're willing to play with that. I'm
still a Tifa lady, man.
Oh yeah,
I'm still pro Tifa. I mean, yeah, man. I mean, I still.
It's fine. Deep down, we're all Tifa ladies down. Got my white crop top man. Shirt on.
I'm a Tifa man, which is almost saying like I'm a titty man. Like, I'm a titty.
They knew what they were doing.
I always been pro Tifa, because really it's my friend. I wouldn't say ruin it, because at the time I didn't care. Like, I didn't care about spoilers as a kid. So my friend told me, like, oh, Ares dies, so like, don't bother. He was just warning me, like, don't bother loving her up. She's going to die. So, well,
don't give her all your good materia, then she gets killed and you never get it back.
Yeah, that's what he said. Like, yeah, he said, buddy, we didn't look at the story like that. Like, oh, this is sad. You didn't care. It's like, nah, this bitch dies. Now it's like, you ain't got no healer. It's like that lady with the like healer. What's it called? Limit break. I say, oh, get the hell. I said that's why I learned, like, because I was using her up till Midgard. I was using her a lot, and then I just benched her, basically. I said, well, They ain't using her no more. I wonder what the change would be. I like her more in this, though. I'll say that. I do like her more in this game. Even though, still, like, man, I talked about the game. The dialogue is still very Square Enix-y Japanese like it's weird. Like, it just feels weird. Like, the dialogue between characters. They say things that just don't make sense at the time, or they react to stuff that just seems weird and cringy. And it's like that's almost... It's almost to a point where, okay, am I supposed to take this seriously? Because it seems like I'm supposed to take this seriously at this point, but it's funny.
Right.
It's like, because the way you do it is funny. But yeah, man. I mean, I'm curious about this game. Like, now you're in the open, I mean, now, when I say open world, but now you're in the world, I don't know how it is. Like, if you could open it is, like, are you traveling from town to town? Or are there, like, you know, hey, is it like Final Fantasy 13 when it's like, okay, we're walking around on this linear plane that looks like it's open, but you know it's still a linear plane, and you're just going to another screen, and then you go to places. Which, I mean, I don't care. I mean, I don't... If it's like that, I mean, as long as it's a fine game, because people like Midgar, I mean, the last game, so whatever. I see you can ride, I say Chocobo and stuff. I just want to know, where does it go? Well, since it's totally different, I'm wondering, like, in this game, you did see Yuffie. You saw Yuffie.
Yeah.
Like, are we going to see Sid in this one? Are we going to see Vincent? You did see the Turks. You saw Elaine. I think Elaine, her name is, or whatever.
Yeah, Elena, I think.
Elena, yeah. Who's in love with the leader. Yeah, I mean, so I'm curious how far it goes relative to the old game. Like, where in the story. Like, where does it stop at?
Or at what point do they just, like, diverge completely? I mean, I feel like there would definitely be some disappointment if you don't end up getting all of those characters still, you know, because for the most part, they're pretty memorable from Final Fantasy VII, or at least for someone from, you know, my generation. And that was one of the biggest games that came out.
I guess that's going to be a later date when they show off Kate Sith. That'd probably be a big reveal too, or something. Not like something like he bursts out and say, "Hey, blah blah blah."
Just does the whatever, man.
Yeah, so whatever case of like talks or something. I don't know.
Yeah. So yeah, that looks pretty good. Next up, Dominic. So we had the Devolver Digital Showcase.
I'm sorry. Before you go, the PS. Oh yeah, I was reading this. The PS5 console can be used offline but there are limitations. I'm reading this from tech-related issues to play games, and online activation is needed first.
Yep. That's it right there. That means you have to get online at some point.
And I mean, of course, patches and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, to act, you can't just put the disc in and just say play.
Yeah. All right, so actually, before we move on, I just want to get your like general thoughts. Like, what did you think of this? Was this about what you expected? Some stuff better or worse, or like it's better than the Sony showcase, right?
Yeah, it was all right. Like, it wasn't like I wasn't like super excited, but I mean, it was fine. I mean, it was fine. Like, it probably was what I expected, really, Dad, because I didn't really expect to be blown away by anything.
Mm-hmm.
So it for me, it is what I expected, and it was fine. It was a fun show. I mean, it showed things off. Some games that caught my eye. Nothing like the biggest news is the Square Enix one at the end. Like showing that game off.
Yeah.
But nothing that I just never heard of. Like, it wasn't something shown that I was like a complete surprise.
Yeah, it felt like known quantities, but we're getting to see like more of that, like Mortal Kombat. Like to me, that was probably that, and the Final Fantasy Rebirth stuff are the two biggest things coming out of that. And both of those are things that we knew were coming, but we just got a better look at them. Because I kind of thought I wasn't going to see nothing really new big, or like anything that was new, it was going to be
like an indie game or something. So it was like it's not gonna be much. Yeah. So yeah, it was an alright show. Like, so what you think?
Yeah, I think I'm right there with you. Like, there wasn't anything that blew me away. I did like seeing Pal World get a kind of a big showing here. Just like having it appear on this show will legitimize
it's real
in a way. Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it feels like we've been hearing about this for years now.
Oh yeah, exactly. So when I first showed it, I showed it to you and stuff. It's still could have been something like,
it felt like an April Fool's joke.
Yeah, yeah. So it could have been gone nowhere, or it could have been like just a sorry game that just came out and just nobody talked about because it wasn't that great.
Yeah.
Because I'm definitely hearing it more than the game that did before that was like Zelda ish. I'm definitely hearing this more like than that one. So that's what's getting me excited. It's like, yeah, and so I hope this game. Yeah, I hope this is just better than Pokemon. That's what I'm saying. I hope it's definitely better than Pokemon. Just something. Yeah, because I mean I like the Pokemon universe. Like, I can get into that, man. Like, it's just they just, I don't know. They just didn't evolve. They evolved like their Pokemon did.
Nope, they definitely did not. All right, Dominic. So now into the Devolver Digital Showcase. They first showed off Sludge Life 2. This is described on Steam here. I'm reading it because every time I've seen this game, it looks quite interesting, but I'm never sure how to describe it. And this sort of describes it pretty perfectly. Sludge Life 2 is the grimiest first-person vandalism sim since the first Sludge Life. So a first-person vandalism sim with a pretty interesting art style. It's very kind of blocks of color, cel-shaded, almost looking kind of thing. It's a game. It looks. Sorry, go ahead.
It looks like a game that looks like it'll be on PlayStation, but better. Like if they fixed all the jagginess and everything to make it look like what you would think it looked like. That's what it. Yeah, that's what it looked like.
But it's definitely got like a cool tone to it. So
yeah,
that first one I think I have on Steam because it was like free for a while. I need to get around to actually giving that a chance. See how it is. All right, next up from them was Shadows of the Damned Remaster, Dominic.
Oh, there's a demo out for it.
Oh, yeah, there's a demo out for Sludge Life 2 as well. Shadows of the Damned, Dominic. This feels like one of those games that wasn't like a AAA game at the time, but definitely like higher up on the AA spectrum, and has kind of been lost to time. So it's kind of cool to see this come back. It's almost the same vein as like a Lollipop Chainsaw, right?
And that's coming back, right?
Yep. Yeah,
it's funny because we talked about that one coming back, and then we're going to get that one, and then we get in this game. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
So Shadow of the Damned. So is it like a up-res version of it, or is it a remake? What is it?
It's a remaster. I think it's going to be, better than just an up-resed version, but not, a full-on remake, not a full reimagining, basically. So we're going to get more details on that on June 14th. Grasshopper is doing like their own stream dedicated to that on that day.
Oh, okay.
All right, next up, Dominic.
Grasshopper, are they American? Are they not American, but are they Western or Eastern?
I think they're Japanese.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're like started in Japan at least.
Oh yeah, okay, I'm looking at it. Okay, yeah, this guy, yeah, he's definitely Japanese.
Yeah. All right. So next up was Wizard with a Gun. This game has a demo out now as well. It looks a lot like Don't Starve, like visually. Apparently the gameplay is also very similar to Don't Starve, except you have like more weaponry because it is a co-op survival style game. There is a nice like animated trailer they put out for that ahead of the gameplay that they showed too.
Why would a wizard have a gun?
I guess because he's in training and he hasn't learned how to use his magical hands yet, I guess.
Well, he's just saying that, look, guns are better than magic.
He's getting tired of having to do all this spell work and just pull one out and fire one off.
Yes, he has a demo with that game too.
Yep. Yeah, so that looks all right. Next up was Talos Principle 2. That, to me, looks like more Talos Principle, which is kind of like puzzle solving in this relatively organic but also still kind of sterile world. It's like a mix of Portal and, I don't know, something far more organic than Portal, even though you kind of get organic stuff in Portal 2 a little more. So that's another game that I always wanted to like give the first game a try, because like environmental puzzle solving stuff I do like that. That's coming out this year. Human Fall Flat, that is of course the sequel to Human Fall Flat. Human Fall Flat 2. And you know, it looks like this one almost reminds me of like Party Animals or Gang Beasts. It's another one of those types of like, you kind of control these wacky looking guys and the controls aren't like precise. So that's where the fun comes in, basically.
All right.
And speaking of this game, Dominic, Baby Steps, this game is like that description to a T. You're playing as what appears to be like a man-child who is not grown up and moved out of the house and can't survive for himself, and he gets transported into this world, and then he just like has trouble doing the most basic of things like walking. So it seems like you're going to have some kind of like somewhat elaborate controls to move your feet to actually walk around this environment. We've talked about a game, Manual Samuel, before. That's kind of a 2D version of what this appears to be. It looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it does. It kind of hits home.
No. You having trouble walking?
Oh, the man-child thing. But yeah, anyway.
I mean, we talk about video games, Dominic, so, you know. Yeah, pretty much. So, yeah, that's what came out of the Digital Devolver stuff. This, of course, was all wrapped in one of their wild, you know, like faux presentations with things attacking people and people dying and stuff. I have not sat down and watched the entirety of that thing yet. But I may. They're always like super over the top, and they do a good job of making their showcases feel different from just kind of the sterile, here's a guy, he's going to come out, talk to you about a thing, and go on from there. So they have narratives to them. But yeah, that is what we've seen so far. We will be back with the Xbox showcase, of course, that will be happening tomorrow as of recording this. So we will be talking from the past, and then we will be talking from the future at some point. And then, of course, we had the Ubisoft and the PC game showcase where we might see something interesting. I know right now, while we're recording this, the Wholesome Games thing is happening. There was also the Day of the Dev stuff that's happening. So I'm definitely going to keep my head on a swivel, see if there's anything that just catches my eye out of that stuff.
Yeah, I hope they show the new Silent Hill at the Wholesome Games.
I'm sure that's where that'll show up. I mean, I do wonder where that would show up now, because Konami doesn't seem to be doing its own thing, or at least hasn't announced its own thing yet. And I don't know if that's a thing that you would see at the Microsoft thing. Sony has already done their thing and showed off the Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta. So I wonder if we hear about that anytime soon. Sorry, I was just wondering, did that stuff get like a dates at all? Do we know?
Oh, I don't remember.
Okay, because this answer straight from Google, which is pulling from the loadout, it says the most likely Silent Hill 2 remake date is fall of 2023. So it feels like if that's true, we should be seeing that somewhere soon. All right, Dominic. Yeah. So we'll wrap this portion of the podcast up, and we'll see you in the future, I guess.
Yes. See ya. And we're back. And now we're doing part 2 of the Super Podcast Arcade, episode 419. We're continuing all the summer game festivities. So now we're going to move on to what we got next. What are we doing next first, Daniel?
I don't know. Do you want to do the Xbox one, or do we want to kind of save that as the last thing because it's where the major stuff happened? What do you think?
Okay, we save it for last.
Okay. All right, so then we'll jump into the PC gaming showcase. They had a lot more than I've got here, but these are kind of the big ones that stood out. You mentioned Frostpunk 2, that game, Frostpunk 1 RTS, that came out and kind of made a big splash in the PC gaming world. So that's kind of a big deal. And then you also have Citizen Sleeper 2, which, that first game just came out last year. It doesn't look like it's necessarily coming out this year, but that feels pretty big.
Yeah, that's it. Because that was like one of those sleeper hits, pun intended. No, but yeah, it was, and I couldn't get into it because I just was not in the space to be reading a lot and like without any action. I was like, I was not in the space. I had a headspace for it at that time. But I'm glad a lot of people liked it and enough for them to even work on a sequel.
Yep. Yeah, and then there's what they're calling overwhelming update for Vampire Survivor that is out now as of recording, June 12th. And that's going to add a new stage, a new game mode, and what they're saying is a half of a new character because one of the characters is getting a new form. So, more Vampire Survivors.
They turned into a vampire?
Yes, they finally turned into a vampire now. There's finally vampires in this game. I forgot
what Vampire Survivors was. Like, it's a multiplayer game?
Vampire Survivors?
Yeah. Oh shit! It's the game I played. Oh damn! So some reason I'm thinking I don't know. Oh damn! Yeah, I'm tired, man. It's late.
Yeah, it is.
I'm thinking about something else. Oh, I didn't realize that this was at the PC Gaming Show. I didn't see that. So this ain't the same thing we were talking about before. That DLC.
No. This is just an update.
This is free. Is this a free? Yeah. This is free. Okay.
Yeah, they're on 1.5 now.
All right, so. That is awesome, man. Yep.
Yeah,
Game of the Year. Last year, Game of the Year last year.
Game of the Year this year too. All right, next up we'll do Capcom here, Dominic. You mostly told me about what happened here. I kind of breezed through the presentation for this as well, just to see if there was anything that caught my eye. But kick it off with Mega Man X Dive Offline. This is coming out this year. It is a mobile game where you customize your own Mega Person and play some Mega Man-esque levels. It looks...
I don't get the offline. That's why I was really confused. I was
like irony, I guess. It's like you can't play it offline, that's for sure.
I wish it was offline. Because I was thinking like, I really thought when I first saw it, I was like, okay, this is like a new Mega Man game.
Yeah.
And then I started seeing all this stuff, and I was like, okay, I don't really like it. And then I saw it was a phone game, and I was like, yeah, this is definitely, I don't care. I don't give a damn.
And it looked like a phone game. Like, there was a lot of, like, cosmetic things and microtransaction-y looking things.
Yeah, you can dress up your Mega Man. I mean, this is what we all asked for. We was like, man, I wish I could just dress up Mega Man.
That armor just needs more colors. All right, next up was Pragmata. Now, I had forgotten about this game. I remember now that it was a thing that was announced at some point previously. I think it was like that spaceman in the middle of Times Square or something, now that I'm thinking about it.
Like Vanilla City?
Is that what happened to that?
No, I just remember Tom Cruise in the middle of Times Square and shit.
I still haven't seen that movie.
Oh, I heard it was bad, so that's why I didn't bother seeing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pragmata. Yeah, you said, so, I don't remember anything about it. I don't remember nothing about this game.
Yeah, I don't know. So. I don't remember if the little girl was in that trailer or not, but in this trailer, there's a little girl in this room, and there's, like, soldiers. It's really weird looking. Like, she looks like a doll. And then on the piece of paper, she scribbled like, oh no, cross out 2023 and put question marks because this trailer was basically announcing that the game is being delayed. There's no future date given for when it will be coming out. So, yeah, I guess just give it the time it needs. Capcom's been doing a pretty good job with the games they've been putting out lately. So, yeah, just take your time.
They look neat. Some of the the gameplay they showed for it. It looked pretty cool. Like, yeah, I want to. Are they using the same engine, the RE engine, for this too?
I think so. I think Capcom's using that for basically everything that they're doing right now.
I don't think they're using it for Ace Attorney.
Are you sure? The new Ace Attorney, Dominic. You don't know. You haven't seen it yet. It's gonna look incredible.
Let's see. I mean, it look like they use the same one they used from the other game, but I don't know. Go ahead.
All right. So next up, Dominic, was Ghost Trick Phantom Detective. This is like a remaster that's coming out on June 30th. There's a demo out now. After that, they announced the Ace Attorney trilogy. This is going to be the later games, Apollo Justice, the young kid and whatnot. That's going to be early 2024. So
yeah, that's cool. With the one that was on the DS, and then the two that came out on 3DS.
Yeah.
So they, so that's cool. We can play those games again, updated, just like they did with the original Ace Attorney trilogy. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's cool that this series is still popular enough for them to stick with.
Yeah, absolutely. Now with the DS ones, did they add like more touch kind of stuff to it, like examining items and stuff? Okay, because I remember them doing that for the first game where they brought that game back and then they added like an extra mission and they did all that kind of stuff. And then the other games weren't like that because they didn't do that much. Okay.
Yeah, it was more touch stuff in these games, man. And nice. I'm trying to remember if it was anything 3D. It was something 3D, but you didn't really need 3D. You didn't really need it. Stuff in there that was pretty cool to use. So I'm curious, which could be done on the Switch.
Yeah.
Because the Switch is touch, so.
Absolutely. Yeah. See, now that I'm like thinking about these games again, that Professor Layton game they announced, I'm looking forward to that. Like, touch puzzles sound like a lot of fun to me. All right. Next up was Capcom Town. This is a website that they're putting up. It is actually live now. They described it as a virtual amusement park. It's basically celebrating their 40 years, and it's got art on it. It's got old games. You can play Street Fighter on there. That's kind of cool. After that was Exoprimal. That's looking pretty all right, Dominic. You described it like Anthem. It does look a lot like Anthem. It's got these pretty cool mech suits and you're killing dinosaurs. So I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a cool action game. I just want to know if the multiplayer stuff to it, is it gonna get stale? Yeah. I'm gonna have fun, but then do I want to keep playing it? Because it looks like they want to have a hook so you can possibly, spend money probably to get some extra costumes, or I don't know how they do it. It's probably I don't know if they do loot boxes. I don't know how the stuff comes into play, but it is a campaign that you can play through. And hell, at least it's on Game Pass. At least I can try it out there. So that's the good thing. But Game Pass does have that stigma of multiplayer games go there to die. It's on because I mean, the game or that. Well, I would say die. They don't seem as popular. Like Back for Blood, I don't really hear nothing much from that. I don't hear much from the Square. At one time, they are still technically Square Enix. The Marvel game and the Marvel game came later. But the one that came, Outsiders. All right, all those co-op games. I mean, we'll see. We'll see if this is something that's bigger, that's really good, and that I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm glad this is on Game Pass.
Yeah. All right, and then they showed off some extended footage of Dragon's Dogma 2, Dominic. I don't think they have a date on that still, but it's looking like one of those types of games, if that's what you're into. Yeah,
and graphically, you can see the big difference from Dragon's Dogma 1. Dragon's Dogma 1. Yeah, and it looks, it looks good. I mean, it does look good. I mean, it does have the aesthetic of old timey look or something, but but it fits with that world, so I'm like, that's cool. And I don't know. I mean, I haven't played Dragon's Dawn at 1. It's always something I wanted to play. But yeah, I did want to play at one time, but now I kind of big on it. But I'll see, because I don't think this is just like, I mean, it might be hard, but I don't know if it's like a Souls. I just hope it's not. Actually, I more so hope it's not like Monster Hunter, because I'm not big on those. I'm not a big Monster Hunter guy. So Monster Controls ain't obtuse like that. I think I'm good with this game.
All right, now we're going to jump into Ubisoft. We got Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. That is going to be coming out December 7th, 2023. That's this year, Dominic. There's a game for this year.
Well, is the movie coming out around that time too?
That's a good question, because they filmed those back to back, right?
Yeah.
Avatar 3 release date. December 20th, 2024, apparently. So this is their off year, Dominic. So they're
so this is like, you play this game until the next movie.
Yep.
All right, yeah.
Because it looks like 4 is a year at 2 years out from 3. So maybe they put out another game then too.
Yeah, yeah. Well, or probably at least a DLC or something.
We're all gonna be dead by the time Avatar 5 comes out, Dominic. 2028. That's not a real date.
I don't like that. I mean, no, actually, I don't. Why do I? No, I don't give a shit. I don't care about this movie. I haven't even seen 2 yet. I'm more
but the game,
so
on the other
interested in
hand,
the
Dominic,
game.
looks amazing.
Yeah, the game looks pretty good. Oh yeah, but they had James Cameron talking, but he called it Ubisoft.
Okay,
I was like, come on, man. You work with this damn company and you don't even know what the hell it's called? I was like, damn.
It's just because when the French people speak to him, Dominic, it sounds like Ubisoft, even though they're saying Ubisoft, but it sounds like Ubisoft because they're French.
But no, it looks gorgeous. Like, I like it looks like Pandora, and I believe I saw someone say you can. Well, I don't know. I never got confirmation. Can you like create your own Navi at the beginning, or at least choose the sex? I don't know. I don't know if it's like a set story and that's the person's name, or the person is nameless and then you just give it a name. I'm not sure. I haven't got that. Yeah, because I saw somebody say like if you look closer, you do see that it's a male, but I don't know. They all got. I never. The women always look like they got small chests too, so I couldn't tell if it was a male or female.
Yes, but their chests are covered, Dominic. So that's how you know it's a man or a woman.
Oh, that's how. Okay.
If you can see Navi nipple, then it's a dude.
But yeah, it looks really nice. And it looks like an open world, like it's an open world game. And you probably have a lot to do with and missions and things of that nature. Probably happen like a Ubisoft game, but
I was gonna
looks
say,
great.
just say it, Dominic. It looks like a Ubisoft game.
Yeah, but it looks like Avatar. Like it looks like the world of Avatar. So that's great. It doesn't look like it. Yeah, it's not. You're just gonna be a Navi. Like in the first game, you can choose human or Navi, like what you want to do. But nah, this is just you are a Navi, and I guess like you were put to sleep for some years or months. I don't know. Well, I think years, and then you woke up and something different happened. So yeah, I'm not gonna say excited, but I can't argue that. I mean, this game looks really interesting. Like I wouldn't mind trying this out.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like they put some serious money into it. It doesn't look like kind of a licensed cash grab kind of thing. It looks like they're actually trying to pull it off. And yeah, I mean, it seems like it's going to do this similar, Ubisoft thing. You can either kind of sneak in a little bit and use the Navi technology, or you can just go in there with your gun, human style or whatever. Obviously, you're still not human, but you can use their guns. So we'll see. That thing could turn out to kind of be a surprise hit, I feel like. Although the December 7th date is a little weird because like that's on the border of like people not including it in their game of the year discussions.
Which is fine as long as the game sells.
I mean, sure.
But yeah, maybe not, but I still don't know how big a deal that is. Yeah, you gotta You gotta ask Ubisoft. Ask Ubisoft. That's a big deal for them.
I mean, it's not a big deal for us because, we do ours the following year.
Yeah.
Like a proper game of the year should be done. So Ubisoft,
Yeah.
we're good. So just send us review copies and we'll take care of it. Wink, wink.
Yeah, there's a few publications that do that. They do wait. And but we know like the Game Awards were the ones that it shows it, it's not gonna be there.
James Cameron will pay off Jeff Keighley to make sure it's there, Dominic.
I mean, if it turns out to be a great game, it's like, hey, whatever. People just talk about it. And people would talk about it as like, oh, this is the game that would have at least got maybe something or would have been nominated if it was there.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Got screwed by timing.
Yeah, exactly. Because Jeff Keighley wants to start shit early.
All right, Dominic. Next up was Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. We talked a little bit about that during the first portion of this podcast. That is the 2D Prince of Persia game. They talked about how there is a time mechanic in it, so you can rewind time, but it looks like whoever you're fighting in that world also may be able to control time. So, ooh.
Oh, they showed all the jump mechanics too. You have to get this skill on the edge and jump just like the old games did. Yeah, keep it to the classics.
Of course. So yeah, that game is coming out January 18th, I believe it is. So yeah, it looks all right. Assassin's Creed Mirage, that is the latest Assassin's Creed game that is coming out in a couple of months here this year. And yeah, they showed kind of an extended gameplay bit of this, and it's like you and I were talking about before we started recording, like they really didn't need to, because this is just like one of those old Assassin's Creed games, probably around 2, because like the combat looks a little more evolved than 1, but yeah, like Assassin's Creed 2 era Assassin's Creed, with maybe some little quality of life things, like you can kind of stealth kill like multiple people at the same time. You can like preload deaths and whatnot. But yeah, and man, let me tell you, like watching that, I was kind of like, oh yeah, it's cool that they're going back to that. But watching it and seeing like the guy like will call it sneak off into the crowd, but he just kind of like walks through people and then like doesn't convincingly merge with the crowd at all, and it's just like,
yeah,
oh man, like we moved past this. Can we like do better?
I was about to say, because at least in the other games, like they may have you like put a cloak on. Well, in the last game, you could put it like you put a cloak on, but it looks like you actually putting a cloak on, like you actually put a hoodie on, like I mean not hoodie, but you like a hood, some hood that actual is a hide, But your armor, like you look like a Viking, and just like in the other game, you look like a Greek warrior or whatever.
Right.
So and then now I'm trying to remember. I don't remember how you look in the Egyptian one. I don't know if you look Egyptian. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But yeah, I see what you mean. Like it's like, yo, can you make it so that it looks like you really are. I mean,
the whole thing about like those early games was the reason you dressed the way you did was because there were certain people in the crowd that dressed that way, and you could literally just merge in with them and walk away from your fucking murders. And this, it's just like in this whole sea of like brown robes, there's just this one dude in this white ass cloak. Like, what was going on here?
Yeah. They think he's going to a cosplay convention. They had cosplay conventions back then?
They might have. No, it was only furry conventions back then, Dominic. So, yeah, that game is probably going to be just fine, but it was not showing its best here. Next up, this is the Assassin's Creed block, because Assassin's Creed Nexus VR, this is going to allow you to play as Connor from Assassin's Creed 3.
So you saw him backwards? Because I didn't realize Mirage was first. I thought that was after all these
it might have been. It might have just been the way that, the place I took it from. I think I got this stuff from IGN.
You're fucking me over with the video, because I was just going to put the video of the Ubisoft and kind of just put them together. Bastard.
You can't do that, though, Dominic. They take us down when they do that, remember?
Oh, nah. As long as I edit and then we complain when they try to, and then we'd be okay.
Okay.
What was the one that I think it was Pacific one, and I forgot which one it was.
I thought it was Ubisoft specifically that like.
Oh, maybe it was.
Made it so we couldn't. So they were like,
but we ended up complaining and got to be back on.
Yeah. So. All right. Yeah. So, Nexus VR looks all right. Like you're kind of our VR head right now, Dominic. Is this something that would interest you?
I mean, I got to see real gameplay because all they showed was a video.
I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, what's the scenario? Is it like just quick scenarios where it's like, okay, get to this person and kill them, or is it like?
That's what I think it is. It's going to be a better Batman VR.
That's probably for the best though, because like I don't see a full Assassin's Creed experience like necessarily working with the way things are right now. Like
no,
but I could see like almost kind of like a Super Hot or something like that, where it's like, okay, here you are in this starting position, you got this kind of like weapons in your environment, like kill this target. Get to him without being noticed. I think that could be really cool. I just don't know that that's what they're going to do, but we'll see. After that, Assassin's Creed Codename Jade. This is a free-to-play Assassin's Creed, Dominic, for mobile. And it looks like more Assassin's Creed, but this time there's probably lots of microtransactions tied to it. Maybe even some NFTs thrown in there.
And people are pissed because they're like, they wanted China, and they got the China, but it's in mobile.
Yep.
So it's like, you get China in the 2D space, and they get China in the mobile. It's like you can't get it in the full game, though.
Yep. They're just constantly screwing you over there. You are not going to get what you want. Speaking of people not getting what they want, the Crew Motorfest, Dominic. They're coming out with another Crew game. This time it is set in Hawaii. It's coming out September 14th. And, I shit on the Crew, but that's not necessarily fair. Those games are fine. And this looks like another fine game. From that trailer, those environments just look fucking empty, man. Like the game.
What are you talking about? Forza Horizon's empty too, right?
It is. It really is when you think about it. But this also just didn't look like graphically as impressive as the Forza either. So.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's like, okay, why are we doing this if there's already a better one of these? And that's not even, including the rewind mechanic of Forza, which,
Well, there isn't on PlayStation, so.
That's true. The Drive Club, Dominic. That's not a massive hit. They didn't do the Drive Club festivals or whatever. All right. After that, we saw a clip of the Netflix show Captain Laserhawk, a Blood Dragon remix. So, they're doing what they're calling an anime, Dominic. I know you're not a fan of their terminology over Netflix.
Oh, no. I mean, I personally don't care. I mean, but it is wrong. I mean, because it's the whole point is, so, like, if you're going to call American anime, they got to be like, well, your story has to really suck. And maybe it does. It's like I was joking. I didn't say anime, all anime stories suck. But that's what anime is. Come on. It's Japanese. And we just call it animated film, man.
Yeah.
It's called animated film. It's okay. It's like I like anime films.
Anime gives it like a level of credence that they're looking for.
Yeah, for the nerds. Say, hey, you can watch this, man. You got my dad saying that because he was saying something like, I was watching this anime. I said, that ain't anime.
I was watching this anime. It's called Family Guy. It's like, Dad. All right. Next up, Dominic, X Defiant is still alive. Apparently, they had a closed beta sometime in like April or something, and they're going to be doing an open beta next week, June 21st through the 22nd. That's not next week. Please don't tell me that's next week. That's not how numbers work.
Yeah, it's next week because Father's Day is this weekend.
Jesus, that's That's
the 18th,
how
right? Yeah.
How is it both the beginning of the month and also the end of the month at the same time, Dominic? I don't like this. Yeah, so X Defiant, Dominic. At one point, I believe this was Tom Clancy's X Defiant. It appears it is no longer Tom Clancy's X Defiant, which makes a whole lot more sense.
You do put that name. Oh man, I say no. It's like, oh man, this is gonna be horrible. That's why I put his name there. Yeah. You gotta keep it classy.
Yeah, the man is rolling in his grave with all your spray paint and your hoodlum actions or whatever.
I don't know. I mean, this has no interest for me. I mean, good luck to those guys. I just hope it's not one of those forgettable multiplayer games that end up being canceled. Later on, you hear about like, oh, they're shutting down the servers.
Didn't they do that already? Like, what was that? Hyperspace? Wasn't that theirs?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I hope it doesn't. Yeah, I hope it doesn't turn out to be Hyperspace.
Yeah, hopefully. Because I mean, it's kind of crazy. Because like Valorant took off. Like, even though it's not something that we talk about frequently, that's still a game that is like high up on the list of most watched on Twitch and stuff like that. And meanwhile, at the same time, that Hyperspace game came out, and that just came and disappeared off the face of the earth. Yeah. Speaking of falling off the face of the earth, Dominic, Skull and Bones is back from not falling off the face of the earth. It's going to be having a closed beta August 25th to the 28th. Why are we still doing closed betas, Dominic? Like, this game should have came out like a year and a half ago. This should be an open beta at the very least.
It should be. It should be open beta. It should be open beta. Like, the Skull and Bones should be open beta. I can understand like games that you just heard about and then it's coming out fine. But nah, this game. And now you tell me it's a damn beta. It's like, oh fuck,
They got something to hide, Dom. They got something to hide.
Well, I feel like, is it gonna be any single player stuff in this game? That's what I want to know. Is this? Please don't be Sea of Thieves.
I mean, that's the saddest part. Is like Sea of Thieves. Meanwhile, is like doesn't really get any credit, even though like they're doing a good job, and we'll mention that later. But yeah, they're keeping content rolling with that game, almost in a very Ubisoft like fashion, in which it's like, are people still playing this? It doesn't matter. They're still updating it. Good for them. So, all right. Next up, Dominic, was Tom Clancy's The Division Resurgence. This is another mobile game. This is coming out fall of 2023.
Oh, so it's not free to play.
If you want to play The Division, it's not free to play, or you?
No, I'm asking you because I mean, I'm
sure it is. As a mobile game, like it's gotta be.
I was about to say, because if it that would suck. I mean, like, yeah, because you're going to end up being just like your main game probably, and just that you got to get all microtransactions and stuff.
Yep.
You can get away with it on consoles. You can get away with consoles. You can charge $60 and do microtransactions. You can't do that on the phones though.
No. Yeah. I mean, it looks like full ass Tom Clancy's The Division. Like, same. I mean,
phones are there. I mean, our phones can get those graphics. So, yeah,
it's impressive.
I didn't see this, honestly. I didn't. I must have. Yeah, I must have missed this Tom Clancy stuff.
It's fine. Next up, Dominic, there was a kind of a quick montage. A couple of things of note from that was the Master Chief is going to be in Brawlhalla. I keep forgetting that that's kind of like published by or something under Ubisoft, so that is theirs. And then some of the Jet Set Radio characters are going to be in Roller Champions, which is a game I forgot existed. And speaking of games that I forgot existed, but I'd never really forgot it existed because it's a beautiful, beautiful game. For Honor, Dominic, is getting an update.
That game's still going. Good for it.
It's
good for
year 7, season 4 or something like that. Like, man. There can't be more than 2 people working on that game.
Yeah, of all the games that you would think, like, okay, this is... Of course, nobody's playing this no more, and they're not doing anything anymore with it. Them still doing stuff for Honor, man. It's like, man, good for people who stuck out with it. Then, like, stuck with it, or maybe you're just a person who has it. You come back every now and then. You actually see some new freaking content. Like they're still doing stuff. It's like good for them.
Just come back. Is this still alive? It sure is. All 7 of us that play are still really enjoying it. All right, Dominic. And then the capper, by going out of order, we did not talk about the debut of this game that happened at the Xbox conference, but Star Wars Outlaws was first shown there. And then here at the Ubisoft conference, they showed off some 10 minutes of gameplay. This is going to be an open world RPG set in the Star Wars universe where it looks like you're kind of a smuggler.
So
type
is that
character.
what they say? They call it an RPG?
Yeah, it's like an action RPG.
Okay.
I feel like RPG is such a term that we just throw around for everything nowadays because every game is technically an RPG as soon as they, add stats on your guns or whatever.
I just figured it's just like porn. Where if they say porn, you know it when you see it. But
I know an RPG when I see it.
I don't know. I mean, I didn't know that's what they were calling it. I just assumed it was like Assassin's Creed or Watch Dogs and just Star Wars form. I mean,
yes,
they all have those RPGs.
Those RPGs.
Yeah. Which is fine. Well, for me, it's fine. And this game. I mean, it looks great. Looks like Star Wars. Looks like you're some type of smuggler. It looks like it's some type of smuggler or something. And you got this little pet. You always got something a little cute, a cute alien or robot. Yeah, that's how it is. And I guess the big surprising thing is the ship battles. You actually can fly up, and you got a ship that actually will travel to another planet and also shoot lasers at you can fight. Have dog fights up there, and it's like a full-on experience, man. And it's a linear experience. I know some people are disappointed that it's not like a kind of more I guess a Starfield-ish thing, where you can create your own character. You could be a Jedi. Now it's a story. I think it's a story that they have, and thing is they haven't gone. I mean, this game is going until next year, so maybe we can see what is it a linear story? Or is it a little more open? I mean, at least, maybe not open, but at least hey, do you have choices of dialogue? Do you say on your side missions and things of that nature, or even the main mission? Can things change? Can you have different endings? All that stuff. We didn't get all that because this is really the first look at it. So, yeah, man. I mean. Hell, this is the closest thing to something Star Wars note that's art in the RPG realm, because KOTOR, we don't know the remake of KOTOR, and I don't hear anybody else making any sort of original RPG. No. Not that I know about. Yeah, I don't think nobody is, right? Yeah. So. Yeah, man, this is great. This was. I mean, I enjoyed it. I was like, yeah, man. It's they start the show off with Avatar looking pretty good, and they ended with Star Wars looking pretty good. Yeah,
it looks like it's got a lot of potential.
And oh my god, they're both Disney. Oh my fucking god. It's that.
Don't worry, Dominic. Soon Ubisoft is going to be owned by Disney.
I'm just saying, we'll get to. We won't worry about that. We're at the next podcast. This other news, but yeah, whatever. But yeah, this is I guess overall with the show, I mean, I thought it was an okay show. It was okay. I mean, what made it was the start and the beginning. That's what really made it. In the middle, I mean,
a little too
Assassin's
many
Creed,
mobile games.
Yeah. That Assassin's Creed, it looks like Assassin's Creed, a better, it could have been one of the older Assassin's Creed, but with better graphics, it runs better. And made the Prince of Persia game. Yeah, we talked about this last podcast. It was at the Summer Game Fest with Keeley. So it was an okay show. Ubisoft, it was an okay show. I'm surprised I didn't see Just Dance. That's a little surprising.
No pandas on stage.
Yeah, because there was a real stage. I thought it was gonna be a video. I didn't know they had a place. So I saw they kept showing what we call it. What's his name for Microsoft?
Oh, Phil Spencer?
Yeah, they kept. He was in the crowd, and like they kept showing in the area where he was the one he's the one who stood out. Like I just saw him, I was like, where the hell? I was like, what the hell, man? I was like, these are all just developers and stuff, or like people of the industry in here. But nah, it was a nice little show.
They photoshopped him in there. He's not even there.
Oh, but actually it was. They had some bad audio. Some bad audio, and really, I mean, it was a nice show as far as games. Like the actual people on stage, I'm not really big on the whole live people. I don't mind you having recordings of them. Yeah. Because not everybody's a public speaker. Yeah. So, I mean, I like that you actually really get the guys is there, but I don't mind them practicing. And then you show them a recording of them talking about the game. Because if they're not playing it on the stage, then come on. Man, dude, we don't really got to see them.
We've learned that mistake. We don't do that anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. But so you didn't really watch the show. You just looked at you just kind of skimmed it or just look at these trailers.
Yeah, I skimmed it a little bit and picked out the trailers, looked at some of that stuff more extensively, just individually. Yeah, I mean overall, as far as like the showing, I'm relatively positive on it. Like you said, the Avatar game looks good. The Star Wars game looks good. Assassin's Creed looks like Assassin's Creed. The Crew looks like another Crew game. It feels like there was a lot of filler, but it's kind of what you would expect from Ubisoft in the middle there is more Ubisoft games. But it feels like Avatar and Star Wars could be something special there. So hoping it is. All right, Dominic. So now let's jump into Microsoft's conference. They had a lot of stuff to show. Whether whether it's good, bad, whatever, just a lot of stuff. So let's kick it off here. First up, Fable. It is being made by Playground Games, so the guys that make Forza Horizon are working on this game. And
they are British, right?
Yes.
They are, or at least from England. Yeah. So yes. Okay.
Yeah, so they got the pedigree down.
I would love to have Americans doing like
just British comedy.
British comedy, yeah,
yeah, yeah. So this was what they're calling an in-game trailer. It's very CG looking, heavy thing, and it's very much like you have this hero. There is kind of this narrator. It's the guy from the It crowd, and he's been in a couple other things.
Yeah, I've seen it
and he's narrating like how the world's feeling about heroes nowadays. Turns out he's a giant, and the hero is like in his house crawling around. She's very tiny, and seemingly she kills him, or at least beats him very badly. Graphically,
or she took his glasses.
Yeah, or she just took his glasses and ran away. The game looks incredible. If this is actual, like, in-game, whatever, it's hard to judge whether this is what it's going to be like. But it doesn't really have the cartooniness that those previous Fable games did. But it's still not like... It's not photorealistic, No. But they do a good job of making everything look really high quality. There's no date on this game, so I don't know how far it's going to be. And part of it is like, I'm glad to see that they're updating us on Fable, but at the same time, like, we need to see something that's coming out soon. Like we know you've got this in the roster. We know you've got Perfect Dark in the roster. We know you've got, countless of other things. But, like, I'm just waiting to see the stuff that you've got. So after that was South of Midnight. This is a new game from Compulsion Games. They are the studio that did We Happy Few. And this was just kind of a tone trailer. You don't really get any gameplay. It's this kind of weird, like, undead person playing a banjo, and this woman comes up to him talking about stuff, and it's beautiful. Like, it has this kind of like claymation kind of look to it, But I can't help but think back to like We Happy Few and how cool that first trailer was, and thinking like, oh, we're gonna get this cool like Bioshocky thing, and then it turned out to be like this weird roguelike thing. So, what did you think about this one, Dominic?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I just don't know what it is, but it seems like I do like the setting. The setting's pretty good, like being in like looks like Louisiana maybe. Kind of setting there, or or southern, or somewhere in the South of America, and yeah, and of course, I mean, let's just say, I mean, having a like a black protagonist, like Southern girl or something like that. Hey, that's I don't really see that. So like I mean. You only play main games, and I say. I mean, last time I played some games, it was like Mafia. We had to do. It was in Louisiana, but that was like, but that was a crime game too. I mean, which is it was fine, but it's just different. This is seem like a mystical kind of thing. So it's like, okay, I wonder where this goes. Like, where it goes, because it's gonna be really good, or it can be, So yeah, for me, it's like. I'm really keeping an eye on this. I'm really keeping an eye because this could be something big, or it could be that just like whatever.
Yeah.
But I hope it's good, man. Like I really hope it's good.
Definitely. All right. Next up, they showed off Star Wars Outlaws. We of course already talked about that, but this was where that debuted first, so they had a short trailer there. After that was 33 Immortals. This is being made by Thunder Lotus, who are the developers of Spiritfarer. And it's a 33-player multiplayer game. It seems like kind of a roguelike. It gave me Hades vibes. What were you feeling about this one?
Yeah, so it's like you co-op, like you can go together, play together, fight these things. So it seems like that'd be fun. I mean, it seemed like I like something like you can pick up, play, and play around with. Yeah. I like because I haven't like I do like those action games, like those type of kind of action games that's kind of quick and like those action type of RPGs, like Diablo or something like that. So yeah, just like some roguelikes, that are like that. So I'm curious what the co-opness to it. Like, how does that work?
Yeah, like, especially because if it is kind of roguelike, like, is it once everybody's dead? Am I just sitting there watching after I die?
Or you die? Can it be like Fortnite or something like that, where you die, you're gone, but they're still playing. And
right, game's persistent, but you can move on.
I'm hoping it's like you don't have to party up. It's like you just join somebody's game. Somebody joins your game, and you're just playing through, and people just join your game, and I will. That would be cool if it's like that. I'm curious to see what exactly. I do hope it's drop in, drop out. I hope it's like that. It's not that you have to start out with freaking whatever amount you start out with. Like you have to wait because I don't know like how many people will still be playing the game like for some while. Yeah. So I'm like, yeah.
So that looks all right. Next up was our first game releasing this year, Dominic, Payday 3. That is coming out September 21st. Payday 2 always seemed like a really cool game that is just not something I'm ever really going to get into. But like the whole idea of like you go in, you kind of plan out what your heist is going to be, and then you execute on it with your friends. That seems like a really cool concept.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, if I was born in another time, in a time like this, like if I was young, I would definitely love to be playing with some friends.
Yeah,
doing that. It just doesn't seem plausible now. Like I think Payday 2 did have some type of single player with it. I want to, but I think I played a demo. But I don't know if it's I don't know if they have like a true campaign. I'm not sure. Like I can't say. But I know it's really the multiplayer that's where it's at, so that's why I just never got into it. I never really tried it. But damn, now I think about Payday 2 been around for a while.
Oh yeah. And apparently they've been making bank off of that game for a while, too.
Oh, yeah.
People love some skins, Dominic. All right, next up,
I mean,
Dominic.
it's funny. It's like, did Christopher Nolan get some money from them? It just looked like the opening scene of Batman.
Yeah.
Really, I mean.
I feel like they really missed out by never having, like, the official, like, here's the Joker mask, and, you can have the police skinned as Batman or something like that, or at least, like, Gotham PD or something.
Yeah.
They definitely could have made some money off of that. All right, Dominic, the next announcement we spoiled already on our previous first half of this podcast because it had leaked out from the Atlas Instagram account. Persona 3 Reload, that's coming out next year. That is the remake of Persona 3. So it's kind of sad because this feels like this would have been one of those big moments for Xbox. Like, you're finally, I mean, they got Persona on Game Pass, so like they're moving in that direction. But for them to, be here day one with one of these games, finally feel a little more embraced by a Japanese publisher.
For me, this is just a video, so I don't feel that bad like it got leaked. It's like nobody's there.
Yeah.
Like, it's like whatever. Like, well, see, okay, I mean, like if there was like a show, like, like the E3 show,
like if you had crowd reactions, basically, right?
Yeah, but since this is just a video, I didn't really think it was that big a deal that it got leaked. It was just like, oh, because all you really try to do is just see the games that's coming out here, and
sure,
you learn that Persona 3 is going to be on Game Pass. It's like, and the new one, it's like, hell yeah. It's like, it ain't taken away from it because you still want that game. It's like, hell yeah.
Yep. So that's cool. That's coming. Next up, we saw Avowed, kind of a more extended look at this. We had previously seen this at a different press conference, or previous year's Xbox press conference. This is Obsidian. It basically kind of seems like their take on the Elder Scrolls, essentially, and it's looking really good. Honestly, it looked, I don't know, it looked different. It looked more different from an Elder Scrolls than I kind of expected it to based on that first trailer. And it's not a bad thing. It feels a little more distinct.
No, I mean, honestly, dang, I don't even care if it did. Like, I just like those type of games, and I like, it would not matter to me. But no, I'm happy that, like, no offense to them, like, that Ant game they made.
Grounded.
Good. Yeah. I mean, that's a cool concept and everything. Honey, it's the kids and stuff, but that's not my thing. I'm not into the multiplayer survival thing. That's just not me. This is what I'm here for, Obsidian. Like, I'm here for the RPGs, and and I'm like, oh, so y'all going the Bethesda route of so you're doing, like, back in the past kind of game. And then you got your space game. Well, you don't have your Fallout game. You don't have that. I mean, I guess you could say, but so it's like your next game is not Outer Worlds. That's what's called Outer Worlds, right?
Yeah.
Or was it? Which one's? Okay, I'm thinking Outer Wilds.
Because the other one's Outer Wilds.
Yeah, Outer Wilds. Yeah, goddamn titles. Yeah, because I was thinking that they were going to be doing Outer Worlds too. Like, that was the next thing, and I mean, before they said Evolve, but
then
I was like, oh yeah. So I was like, okay, so they're doing Evolve, and it's looking good. Like, it's looking good. Like, I was like, yes, this is what's up. I mean, you talk about what we call it coming out later this year. Starfield, this big RPG, and then I got this to look forward to. Say hell yeah! Like, I'm loving it.
Yep, and we know they make the better versions of these games, so
Oh yeah.
So when Bethesda lets us down, Obsidian comes in to clean up for us. All right, next up, Dominic, was Sea of Thieves. They're getting Monkey Island DLC. Guybrush Threepwood is hanging out in the Sea of Thieves.
I was a little excited about that. I was really excited. They had all the characters there.
Yeah. This update's coming out July 20th.
Oh, I was saying I didn't see Lane, his wife, but I'm sure she's probably there somewhere.
I don't know. The way he was looking, man, it looked like he was trapped there all by himself, looking sad. And
I know.
lonely,
I think it's gonna be a mission. Yeah, I think it's gonna probably be a mission where she comes to him at the end, comes back to him. They want to break that. Yeah, I was like, oh, is there any way you can play as one person and play that part? That's what I'm hoping. It's like, can I just like get a rowboat and just use it instead of, like, 'cause I can't go a ship. Can I just get a rowboat and like sail over there? Basically, I feel like it's definitely fun playing with people, but I just want to do that Monkey Island stuff.
Yeah.
I'll see. I might just try and just see what happens. Like me trying to get the Monkey Island by myself.
You're gonna sink like 10 feet off of the shore.
Well, it's gonna be people probably just killing me and something like that. And basically too.
Sea of Thieves just feels like perpetually the game that has like the updates that make me go, oh yeah, that game looks awesome. But also like from the time that we played it, I'm not really interested in playing that game.
I just wish I had computer mates. I was like, can you just give me computer mates just to sail my ship?
Yeah.
At least. And like, yeah, I'll be at a disadvantage to people with them or something like that. And I'm fine with that. But I just like, listen, I'm not going to be having anybody play this game with me.
Yeah.
And I'm damn sure I ain't going to try to make no friends with these people who I don't know how old they are. I just feel weird with, I just feel weird at this age now playing with people that they're little kids or something, man.
Yeah.
Like, and then you gotta talk to people. So I don't know.
Yeah. Go in there with your emoticons or whatever and give them thumbs up when they do something right. Give them frowny faces.
Have a little kid like angry at me and calling me names that I don't know what he's saying because I don't know the lingo now.
You're playing real mid right now, Dominic.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, Dominic, was Microsoft Flight Simulator. They're going to be adding like search and rescue, basically like plane jobs. They're going to do search and rescue and skydive transports and crop dusting and industrial transport, like construction stuff. It looks really neat because like those...
It's like a grown-up version of Rescue Pets or something like that.
Exactly. This is Paw Patrol for adults, though.
Yeah, Paw Patrol. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, I didn't know what it's called. I'm kids.
So, like, I really appreciate this because, like, I like having missions and things to do in video games. Like, I appreciate the fact that Flight Simulator exists for the people that just want to hop in a plane and fly digitally across the country, but, like, that's not me. I like to have missions and stuff. So, like, if I gotta help the snowboarder that broke their ankle on the slopes or something, or the...
And I like crashing. They don't let you do that like how I want it to.
We'll see if that's added in this or not. You just crash into your crops, your plane catches fire, the whole wheat field catches fire. That's what they need.
Oh, someone was saying, oh no, go ahead. Yeah. No, go ahead and say this next one, because then, I can add you.
So they're adding the Firefly ship from Dune, the thing that looks like kind of like a mosquito or something, or a dragonfly, rather. It has like the 4 propellers. They're adding that on November 3rd. I think that's probably around the time the second movie comes out.
Oh, okay. You don't have it up here. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, I think it is.
Yeah, that's what they're doing, right? Because it's coming out this year, I think.
I think I was looking at somebody's tweet because he was saying that he sees that people are asking, like, why are they doing another one? I'm going to just keep updating this one and say, isn't that a niche game? And he was saying that Microsoft makes a lot of money on this. They have a store, and like which people actually put up extra content for the Microsoft Flight Simulator. I think Microsoft gets 30% from the sales because people actually put stuff up there. So yeah, that's why they want to. They going back, like, but that's what they used to do. You know, these don't come out like almost every year, but like yearly. Like, you know, you could have it like Flight Simulator 27, like $2 or something or whatever, blah blah blah. Yeah. So he said, like, Microsoft, they make money. It's like maybe it's not a big seller like these other games, but they make bank on this game. And those storefronts, I didn't even know they had that. Where people put their own content and they can sell it.
Yeah,
sell their stuff up there. Like somebody put one where they can recreate that incident that happened where that plane crashed and where our sonic boom and like say, what's the conspiracy? Was it really just did they shoot it down? Was it what's going on? Yeah, they should do something. Yeah, was the people really asphyxiated? Did they really were knocked out in there? I don't know.
Goodness.
It's like this is.
Yes, you're gonna be on a mission to shoot that plane down.
Yeah, you say in actuality they were about to attack the White House.
And they're gonna take the Joe Biden AI robot.
It was like, fuck Doc Brandon.
Go. Oh,
say, fuck
Brandon. Oh, Jesus. Oh boy. Next up, we've got Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. They showed us some video of this. Finally gave a release window again for this. It's coming out 2024. So we've still got a ways to go for this game.
Man, the game that I thought was going to come released with the damn console.
I feel like we all did.
Man, this is turned out to be... But I know this is probably insulting for the game. It's turned out to be the malice. It's the malice of the... like that original Xbox.
They can only hope that one day they replace her with Gwen Stefani.
Yeah. So, yeah, I have no excuse. I should have beat that other game. I could have beat it like 5 times or something by now. But yeah, because I do want to try it. I do because I heard people just love the game and like this is big. So I'm like, I need to play this first game. Let me play this first game.
Is it big, Dominic, or do they just want us to believe that it's big? I think they've successfully convinced us that it's a big game, Dominic.
The PlayStation, I know the PlayStation, the Sony, the pony, as they like to be called.
Preferred nomenclature. Got it.
They would say that. They definitely would say that.
All right, Dominic. Next up was a trailer for Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. This showed Ichiban Kasaga on a beach that seemed like it was somewhere in America.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, so it was, I don't know if it was Hawaii or it was California. It looks like it's mostly, one of those areas. Definitely not. I don't think he drift all the way over to the East Coast, but like to Jersey or something like that. But yeah, so I just want to know would it like just take place there? That'll be cool. Like a whole you're just not even in Japan no more. That'll be awesome.
Fish out of water.
If that happened. Yeah, but man, those are cool as a game show. Good for them, man. Like they pumping them out, but they're not. I'm not hearing bad things about them.
Nah.
That's the thing. They're doing a pretty good job. Where's Shenmue 4 at? Sorry, nobody ever said that.
Nobody ever said that. There's somebody out there wanting to finish his story. All right, Dominic, I mentioned Atlantic City, but Fallout 76 is getting an Atlantic City update sometime in Q3. They had a short trailer for that. And Fallout 76 is still alive and kicking, Dominic.
I wish I could just... I just don't want to spend my money on it, but I don't mind, getting the Fallout 76 where you get your own server and just play by yourself.
Yeah.
Basically. Because I will play that game. But the thing is... I know I would like this game. I feel like I would like this game, but I just want to play as a single player and not an open world multiplayer.
Yeah. You just wanted it to be another Fallout game. Instead, they decided to try and get more money out of people.
Yeah. I actually wish it was Fallout 76. It's a single... it has multiplayer added on. If you wanted to go out to the world and do that, that's fine. But or you just stay by yourself. Cause that's what I wanted. Because like I said, I didn't ask for an open world where everybody was there. I said no. I just wanted a co-op. I have friends come in or something like that. That's what I wanted. A while back. Or have that option. No, I didn't want it to be a MMO. I didn't want that.
Yeah. All right, Dominic, next up, Kinitsugami, Path of the Goddess. This is a new game from Capcom, a new IP. Looked like initially it could be like a Onimusha. It was swordsman's going around this environment.
Yeah, I was thinking like, oh my god, they're actually bringing back the old franchise, and just like what's it called, Exoprimal, or whatever it's called. Yeah, they just teasing you. They're saying like, oh, we use the same settings.
Yeah, it almost kind of looks like future ninjas, future samurais, because they got these crazy masks on. But it's also kind of weirdly like psychedelic. Like they've got all these colors and things going around while you're doing all these.
I like
action
the RE
moves.
engine, man. I really like the RE engine. It looks good. I like how it looks, like it runs with these games.
They're doing a fine job with this stuff. So Capcom is definitely on its like revival right now. So
remember Lost Planet.
They'll bring back Lost Planet, but it'll be like slightly bastardized version where it's like, oh yeah, you're on this ice cold planet. You got mechs, but we're not going to call it Lost Planet. All right, next up, Dominic, Forza Motorsports coming October 10th. They were talking about the electric Corvette, so you can play as that in the game.
Fucking liberals.
Just wait until they turn the Corvette into a four-door crossover SUV or whatever, like they did with the Mustang. Yeah, so Forza, it's not Horizon, so I feel like but at the same time, like we can't just keep getting Horizon because that's starting to lose kind of its interest too. So it's good. They can make one of these, make it look very pretty.
I mean, we got Game Pass. I don't mind Forza. I mean, I'll play some, but I would never have bought it. Like I had to buy it. No, but on Game Pass, I don't mind playing some races, like on a course or something like that. It's like, yeah, that's what's up. Because man, the game looks beautiful, man. I mean, they do such a really good job with that game. I never imagined, tell me 20 years ago or even 15, I would never imagine that this would have surpassed Gran Turismo.
Yeah,
I thought Gran Turismo was always going to be king of the racing sim, bro. I can't believe this actually surpassed it.
Yeah. All right, next up was a brief trailer for Elder Scrolls Online. There's a Necrom update out right now that has Cthulhu-looking stuff in there. After that was Overwatch 2, Dominic. They're showing basically what looks like what they just announced they were canceling. So
yeah, I was very confused, Daniel. I was confused. My head was hurting because I was like, okay, I thought we said they were canceling.
Phil Spencer did not get the memo.
Yeah. I was thinking, this was already in the press conference. They didn't feel like editing it out.
They thought they were going to own them by now. They were like, oh yeah, we're going to get this back on track by the time this comes out. And somebody's just like, hey man, did you take that Overwatch 2 stuff out of the... fuck, no. Hit the stop button. But yeah, so the Flashpoint mode, which sounds like it's player versus enemy, not quite single player, but co-op kind of stuff.
Player versus environment.
Yeah, that stuff's coming, as well as what they're calling a hero mastery and then a firing range. Which is anybody really looking for a firing range mode in this game?
Yeah, it's gotta be something cool about the firing range. But based on that video, it looked like just targets, and yep. I was like, why y'all advertise this?
It's like esports practice mode. Yeah.
It looked literally just like targets. And I was like, you couldn't do something like something fun with this or something? Maybe shoot something in the sky or something. You shoot or something in targets in a special environment. They pop up and go I don't know. I was like, they really just show you at a carnival, it looks like, or something like that, man.
It's the mini game from Legend of Zelda 20 years ago now. All right, so that stuff is coming out August 10th of this year. After that was Persona 5 Tactica, which is the other one that we had seen leaked from Atlas. That's coming out November 17th this year, and that is the tactics version of Persona 5. Now, Was it weird to you that they split these two announcements up, like the 3 and the 5, or?
Yeah, and actually it was, but then I said, okay, I get it, because they don't want to just bunch them together. They wanted to give us some space, like, oh, you're still probably a little thinking, especially the Persona fans, still thinking about that, and then you see this, because if they put them both together, the Persona fans, people would have, some people probably would have died, just of the happiness of that, like, this is happening. So they had to give people some time to breathe, those guys to breathe, and to calm themselves. But yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty good that they did it. Not to do back to back, like hurry back. Like, I think it only works back to back. I mean, like if it's like, an old game is coming, you know, or like a DLC of something attached to something that's similar, and then you got a new game, you know, like then that comes next.
That makes sense.
Or like a phone game comes first, then you got the real game next. Yeah, but this is like two, you know, these are two big games. Man, I mean, it's good that Xbox is getting this and it's Game Pass. Like, come on, man. And, holy shit, I did not realize Persona 5 Tactica was coming out in 2023.
Yep.
I thought that was 20. Oh, my God. Now I'm about to have a heart attack. Oh, my goodness. I thought that was next year. Oh, man. Yeah.
Damn Persona pervs. Come on. All right, Dominic, after that was a reminder of Starfield, because they were like, hey, we're doing this whole thing after this thing, but also
I thought this is the ending of the show, Daniel. I was like, oh, this is it?
It's going to roll into this, huh? Okay.
I think this is where I started really dozing off. Because not because the show was boring, it's just I was tired.
Yeah.
I was sleepy.
Yep. Nope, I was just bored. That's why I fell asleep. So yeah, Starfield. After that, they showed off a trailer for Still Wakes the Deep, which seems to be like a horror game set on an oil refinery. That's coming out next year.
Yeah, I won't be playing that game, but I hope it's something good that those people like, the people who like these type of games.
Yeah. After that was Dungeons of Hinterberg. This game reminds me a lot of Hi-Fi Rush. It has that same kind of like cel-shaded look to it. And
okay, because I gotta remember. I know I've seen it, but I just don't remember what it looks like.
Yeah, you play as this redheaded woman. She's got a sword and action third-person game with some exploration stuff to it, puzzles. Looks really good. There was also another one, which I did not see as a part of the list that I was pulling from. It is Jusante? Jusant? And it looks like basically all the Uncharted climbing, but in its own game. You're like this very like simplistic looking person, kind of like flat shaded, not cell shaded, because it doesn't have the dark outline around it.
What's the name you said again?
The one that you were looking for originally?
No.
Oh, this
what you said now? I saw
Jusant.
that game. Yeah. Okay.
Jusant, and it's made by Don't Nod, which we had just mentioned them in the earlier part of the podcast from the Game Awards stuff, because they were working on something kind of new and different. Now this one looks...
Oh, yeah, he was climbing up the mountain, yes.
Like another kind of new and different thing.
Yeah, it's a climbing game.
Yeah. All right, so we got that. After that, we had Cyberpunk 2027, the Phantom Liberty. That is the DLC. Now, you were telling me that is going to be a $30 expansion, which some people are not happy about.
Yes. I'm trying to make sure, is it 30 or 40? But it's something around that range. And yes, some people were like, they were upset. They're saying they think it's still too high a price for some DLC. Now, I don't remember how much it costs for The Witcher. There are the 2 DLCs. I'm guessing it was less than that because...
Yeah, I had seen somewhere somebody mentioned like it's, you can get both DLCs for that price, but I feel like they weren't $15 a piece. I feel like they were like 20 each.
I'm guessing this could be like either a huge game, maybe, but I don't know. I'll have to. It's something we're gonna have to wait and see. I can't say. If I go by what they have done before, I say, hey, this might be worth it. Yeah. This might be worth 30 bones, man. Like, this might be like a full-on experience that that last Witcher, it wasn't as long as the campaign, no, but it was a lot. Yeah. And it's probably was like this. Like, hey, this is not long as the main story, but it's a lot. And
plus our game works now, sort of.
And and it might actually be better than the main story. Who knows? Because just like that was kind of better than the Witcher's main story. That I mean, I want to say it's better than the whole main story, but it was better than a lot of those side quests. I know that. I know it was probably that was awesome. So ain't gonna sell it short. I mean, like Cyberpunk that's a world I wouldn't mind going to now. If I had a better fucking PC, like I would not mind going to that game. Like back to it, like just to see how it runs and playing it again, and even playing this new DLC. Like it was an alright game. Like it wasn't like what my high expectations. It wasn't as high as those my expectations was, but it was a good game, and I still liked it.
All right, Dominic. Next up was City Skylines 2. That's got an October 24th date. So if you're looking to build a city, you can check that out.
And that's Game Pass too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that is something. And like, man, those details of those cities, oh my God, man. So good. Yeah.
Yep. All right, next up was Metaphor Refantasio. And that is coming out next year. That is made by the Persona developers.
Yeah, it is.
And looks like Persona, kind of.
You know what? I want to say that's my prediction, Daniel. That's the new Persona
that fulfills your prediction.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of fits all the things. It looks pretty Persona-like to me, so I might let you have that one. After that was Towerborn. This is coming from the Banner Saga developers. It's an action RPG brawler. That's coming out next year. And then we saw Clockwork Revolution, which is coming from In Exile, the people that have done Wasteland in the past. The date was In Due Time, which is kind of a reference to what we saw in this trailer, because it's basically like you're seeing these kind of two different timelines. And it has a very like BioShock Infinite feel to it. If you like compare this trailer to that trailer that we saw so many years ago, it's very much like, it feels like they took very direct inspiration from this for their first person shooter RPG type game, where you're kind of kicking off this revolution, it seems like.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, it definitely gives the BioShock feel. It looks good. I mean, it looks great.
Definitely.
Another first party game. Though, like, we don't know when it's gonna come out, but
yeah,
I mean, it's something to look forward to. It's something I'm looking forward to. At least it's up. I mean, it's funny. I mean, I'm still gonna criticize Microsoft for like, hey, not having a lot of stuff come out, but it was to a point where we weren't even seeing stuff. We were just seeing stuff announced, and we didn't even know what the hell it was going to fucking look like. Now, at least we see some of the stuff they're announcing. Like, we're seeing some gameplay and getting an idea of what it is. So I am looking forward to it. I just hope we get a lot of these games next year. Like, I hope we do. Because, this system, man, it needs something. It needs something to be competitive, man. Like, to keep those other people on their toes. Because, like I said, like Sony's, man, they're sitting on they're not really. I mean, they got stuff, but they just don't seem like they need to push further. Like I feel like if Microsoft's a little more competitive, man, like Sony would have did something really big that would really get me, you know.
Yeah.
Like saying, like, man, Sony did this. Like Sony didn't really do nothing big because it's like, hey, what the hell? Why? Why we have to?
Yep. And then closed out the show, Phil Spencer announced that they're coming out with a black Xbox Series S with 1 terabyte of hard drive space, or solid state drive space, I guess I should say. That's coming out September 1st for $350. Price seems a little high on that, but it's cool to get a black option for that.
I think the black paint... really costs a lot.
Maybe.
I think that's what it was.
I'm wondering, like, at 512, like, how much is one of those 512 expansion drives? Is that still over $100? If so, that's bad. They need to figure out how to get those prices down.
Oh yeah.
And if not, like, then why? Because, like, also we've seen the Series S for far cheaper than the $300 that it typically it goes for. So, like, I think that's an additional part of why this price seems a little excessive. Also, you throw another $50 in there, and then you're talking about the PS5 digital, and that's, you know, on a whole other level of power. So I don't know. It seems like a weird place to launch it out price wise.
Yeah, I mean, it's not something I'll probably get. Like, if I'm going to get an Xbox, it's going to be the X.
Mm.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I wish it was at least 300, man. I don't know. I was really hoping it would be the same. Yeah, like the same price of what the S is, and they would just phase out the S. Like, it's like, oh, okay, they're doing this. So say that's nice. I mean, I don't know. I mean, they could still be phasing out the S, but this is just a higher price point.
Yeah, get their money while they can. All right, Dominic. So before we kind of wrap this whole show up, what did you think about the Starfield kind of excess stuff they showed after the Xbox? Did it make you more or less excited for that game?
It made me more, and I didn't even watch all of it because it's long as shit. I had just watched probably maybe half of it, and like I went back to watch it because I didn't watch it when it was, because at that Xbox show I was like, man, this is, because I didn't realize it was gonna be that long, and I was like, oh yeah, I can't save the Starfield one. But I went back to watch like half of it. Really excited for that game. Like before, I was just like, I know, like, hey, this is a game I'm gonna play, but I wasn't really excited. But now seeing it, like, in motion, and seeing like all the worlds you can go to, and just knowing it's gonna have that, like, that Elder Scrolls or Fallout feel to it, like, you know, then you're gonna have a crew for your ship. And it's like I saw that robot. I said, "Oh yes." I said, "This is gonna be awesome. This is gonna be awesome. This is exactly what I was thinking I wanted." I know some people are saying like, "Oh no," was saying like, "No Man's Sky, is this No Man's Sky?" I say, "Nah, I played No Man's Sky. Ain't no fucking No Man's Sky." Like, nah, this ain't like, you can. I know you can mine this stuff, but it ain't like No Man's Sky and stuff. Like, this is a full-on experience, and man, it looks great. Like, I hope it. I mean, I hope it turns out to be awesome. Like, I can't imagine it turning to be bad. Like, I can imagine it, but I don't think so. I think it's gonna be all right, man. I think it's gonna be I think it's gonna be a great game, and it's gonna and I guess the big news is about people complaining about the console versions of the game are locked at 30 frames per second. And Howard said, I'm about to say Ron Howard, but Howard said that they locked it because of it's a way to keep the fidelity, to keep it like running, like just to look at the game running steady, and like keep the game looking great, basically. They couldn't do that. If they put it at 60, it wouldn't look great, and without that. And some people are thinking that's just an excuse, that they just didn't work on it or something. And there's some other developers too from other places who even like defended him somewhat. I mean, I think one of them, Santa Monica or something like that, said like, nah. I said like if the world is as big as we think it is, it probably couldn't run consistent at 60 frames per second on a console. That it couldn't look as good at that. And now for me, it's like, look, I just gotta believe what the developers are saying and believe that they're right. Like, if they say they couldn't do it at 60 frames per second, and they can do a consistent 30 frames per second and make the game looks great, then I'm okay with that. Like, I have no problems with that. Like, but we never really shown we were big frame guys anyway. Like that's never been our thing. Like I just like you said, just run consistent. Just like have dips and stuff like that. Slow down. That's like really is the problem. But yeah, like I'm like I just want to know. Okay, what was it running on when we was watching those videos? Did they say it was running on like a PC?
No, I have no doubts that it was running on PC. Like, it's got to be what it was, right?
Yeah, but I just want to know, like, was it? Because I don't know. Was I looking at 60 frames per second?
You were looking at 144, Dominic.
Yeah. I just don't know what I was looking at. Like,
your eyes are gonna bleed when you see it running at 30 frames per second.
Yeah, I have no problem with it. Like, hey, as long as it looks good, man, and I'm good. I mean, yeah, though the minimum specs for it, like I can't run. I shouldn't be able to run it on my PC. So like it looks like it's going to take a lot for that. Like yeah, my PC is pretty much out of date for the minimum, but yeah, man, it looks like the game is huge, man, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to playing it. Probably most likely it's going to be through the cloud. It's going to cloud with that. What you think of it?
I'm coming out of this positively. I think it's like you said. I don't see this game turning out bad. I mean, it depends on what your idea of bad is, but the Fallout games I've never really had a problem with. I know they have their bugs and whatnot from time to time, but it was never stuff that was like game breaking for me. So I just never had that feeling of like, oh, here comes one of these broken Bethesda games at launch. And they've consistently lived up to kind of expectations. And sure, some of those expectations are a little bit tempered by some of that stuff. But for the most part, I still think they're one of the, highest, considered developers out there. So I expect this to be a fantastic game. And from everything that I saw, like I'm really positive on it.
Yeah, so I guess overall Microsoft show I think it was great. It was probably the best of the ones that were shown. So they did live up to like at what other people were talking. The PlayStation say, "Hey, Microsoft, it should be easy for them to win," and yeah, then
it was relatively,
yeah, it was. And I mean, they did show all the games, even though people argue say, "Hey, a lot of those games are on other consoles," and that's true. But
yeah,
at the end of the day, like I don't care. Like, I just want to see what new games are coming out. I don't care what show floor they're on. Yeah, I don't care who's like whose showcase they're at. I just want to know what games are coming out. Like, it don't matter to me. Like, hey, I mean, yes, if that's the only console you got, yes, you want to know if it's going to be up there. And if you got all you guys an Xbox, then yes, you're happy because all those games they show, of course, it's going to be going on Xbox. So you should be happy. And if you got who's PlayStation, yeah, you just go look up to see if it's on PlayStation and they'd be happy. Now, I don't know why you would care if, like... See, I mean, I know why. I know people, they like the console war stuff, or I don't know if they like it, they just do it. And it's... I mean, it's
part of them, Dominic.
Yeah, it's dumb. I mean, but I'm just saying, like, look, if you're, like, in your not even mid-20s, maybe, like, 22, younger... then yeah, go ahead and be the console war stuff. If you're older than that, man, I don't know, man. It's a little weird. It's a little weird. And I mean, and I have seen people like that, and I'm like, dude, that okay. It's like they say, oh, yeah, I don't got it because yeah. It's one thing. It's like, hey, you say, oh, I don't get Xbox because they ain't really got none I want to play. I say, okay. And I said, yeah, and I got it because they did have stuff I can play, and plus my friends had it. So yeah, if it was vice versa, my friends got a PlayStation, I probably got a PlayStation. So it's whatever, man. Yeah, it's just I feel like as a full on adult, man, it's like, does it really matter, or should you be like out there saying like, oh yeah, they like this like PlayStation's better, and like, or be like, yeah, that game's gonna suck. Like I now for the influencers, see, I take you with a grain of salt. 'Cause I'm thinking like you're just doing something for content. I don't know what you. I truly don't know what your like integrity is. Sorry, because you're not real news or anything. You know, you yourself, you're trying to make money. So I'm gonna think you just saying shit because it gives you clicks and stuff. So I not really can take you guys seriously on that stuff. So like, even when you say like I saw a dude talking about how Starfield didn't look that great and it was stuff that he was like a PlayStation guy. So I was like, oh, okay. I mean, maybe he really feels that way, or he just doing it for content. I have no idea. It's like, have no clue. But yeah, overall the show was great. These games that we got looking forward to. I mean, like it's looking like a good future. Like it's looking like there are things like in the future that I'll be interested in. So I was like, oh, good. I'm not too jaded yet over this shit. So it was like, yeah, I did see things that I like that I do want to play. I mean, you got the Yakuza series. You got 2 games from the Yakuza series that I want to play. I guess it's part of the Like a Dragon. Then you got, of course, Starfield we talked about. You got the Personas. You got some original stuff, Clockwork Revolution, some new stuff. Then even Capcom had me with the game I thought was Onimusha, but it wasn't. Yeah. And you got Avowed from Obsidian. I mean, it was kind of few stuff. I mean, I'm curious about Fable, man. Mm-hmm. Damn, if it looks like that, definitely. And I mean, I hope it's
gonna run at 10 frames per second.
Star Wars Outlaws. I mean, the Avatar game, Prince of Persia. You know. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things to be done. I kind of wish they would have showed more Skull and Bones. I really wish they would have actually show some fucking gameplay.
I'm glad they didn't. I've seen enough of that game. Just release it already. Because
I really thought it was gonna be a different game. Yeah. By now, or at least they added, because the way what the little bit it showed, I thought they was gonna show some single player stuff. So I was like, oh, it's like, but then like the way they had some people talk, like I was like, okay, what's about to happen here? But they didn't. They should have got Guybrush Threepwood content. They should have got Monkey Island content.
Might have saved their game, Dominic.
Yeah, Microsoft paid. Yeah, Microsoft will pay. They probably bidding for it. Microsoft's like, we pay. It's not like they could go. It's like they got a contract. They can go over them too. It's just Lucas. Right. They go everybody. Yeah, because they got Star Wars. All right. So what's your lasting thoughts over this?
I think overall, like it was a good event for top to bottom. As far as Microsoft specifically goes, they're showing, just reviewing the list, there's a lot of stuff on this list that I am excited about, or at least intrigued by. My only thing about this was, once again, we're kind of coming out of it like, man, next year is going to be killer for Microsoft. And we've been doing that over and over again. It's
fun.
It is fun until you get to next year.
Yeah, but then you like, it's going to be next year. Oh my God. Yeah. It keeps you alive.
It's the only thing.
Once it happens, Daniel, you going to be like, what's the point of living?
There's nothing.
I already have everything. Yeah.
What do you give a man that owns the world? Yeah, that's kind of my only disappointment here is like we're getting Starfield and we're getting Forza this year. There's really nothing else that we're getting. Fable, we don't know if it's even going to be next year, if it's going to be 2 years from now, who knows. Same with South of Midnight. It being compulsion games, I feel like they're not necessarily going to make the biggest games, so I could see that coming out next year. But like, then where does something like a Perfect Dark fit in and all those other games? And I get it, like when you're having a big showing like this, especially Microsoft, because they don't really do a lot of the kind of, spread out through the year. I think that's why I look to to something like this as like, oh yeah, this is going to be where Microsoft shows off their things, because they don't really do like little directs here and there. I mean, occasionally you'll see something, but not in the same way that Nintendo and Sony does. So I expected them to have kind of a list of heavy hitters, but for them to not be able to maybe fill out this year, I had texted you this, but basically to fill out this year a little more with some third-party stuff, whether it be indies or whatnot.
Oh, they did. Exoprimal?
Exoprimal, sure. I mean, it's not to say that they didn't show off anything for this year, but when you're looking at like the grand scheme of things, there's a lot more 2024s and beyond on here than anything else. And part of that is probably them not wanting to dedicate time to games that people already know about that are coming out this year. Because if it's coming out this year, you probably already know about it, right?
Yeah, we didn't see anything. Nobody showed anything about Call of Duty.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, is Call of Duty coming out this year? Is this one of the years that they're skipping, or did they do that last year? Or I honestly can't even keep track at this point of what's going on.
It came out last year. I think the game did come out last year. Was it Modern Warfare 2 last year?
It might have been. But that's my only thing is, because when you think about it, like the indies that would actually get them attention if they released this year would be something like a Hollow Knight Silk Song. And maybe that game's just not in a state to say, yes, it's definitely coming out this year. So I could see why you wouldn't be able to do that. It's just, my cynical brain is going like, man, it's just another one of these years where they're promising the world and we're not going to get anything. But for the stuff that they did show, if and when it eventually releases, it looks fantastic. You know, Avowed looks incredible, even more so than like when it originally showed off. Because like that initial like kind of short trailer that they showed was like, oh yeah, this looks neat, but it doesn't really have any personality. And this trailer that they showed this weekend, like the world feels like it has a little more personality. It's not just this generic looking fantasy kind of action thing. So yeah, I am satisfied with this showing, Dominic. It doesn't sound like high praise, but considering, you know, like the PlayStation thing outside of Spider-Man, which looks awesome and is coming this year, is relatively disappointing because there wasn't much else to be shown.
But with Microsoft, I will say, like, no Gears. Like, I can't believe not even like this announcement, like, of
You've got
Gears,
too many
man.
cards on the table, Dominic. They can't throw that one out there until they're a lot closer to release.
But it's just that I need that story complete, man. I need to just complete that shit. I wish I just never restarted. You should never restart.
Have they answered why the queen looks like a lady yet?
Yeah, that was in the fifth one.
Oh, okay. I'll get around to it.
Yeah.
What more do I need then, Dominic?
Oh no.
Yeah, don't tell me.
No. I'm just saying that it's stuff that happens, man. That in the fifth, and especially the fifth game. I just want to know, is that game being worked on? That's all I want to know. I don't hear anything about it.
Absolutely sure it is, because I think the rumors going around was that Coalition was working on something else, like a smaller project, and then that got canceled, and everybody kind of was put to focus on the next Gears game, basically. So it definitely sounds like it's in the works, but I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I definitely feel like they need to clear some of their hand before they pull that one out. You know, there's just too many big titles, and I know they aren't necessarily filling the same role that a Gears is, but in some ways, as far as like accounting goes, it feels like you would maybe want to
put like this.
Push that
none of these games up here my friends care about.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean is, it's definitely different audiences, but I just wonder if they're like, all right, we've got this guaranteed million seller for this time. We got this guaranteed million seller. And obviously it's not the same million people or whatever. And I don't even know if a million matters to anybody anymore, or if there's a much larger number they need to be hitting, 5 million.
Oh
whatever.
No, with the microtransaction stuff, that's what it is.
10 trillion. But if they're just trying to fill out a calendar with games that they think will sell $1 million, and maybe not trying to overlap them too much. So,
all right. So I guess that's it then.
Yeah, we'll wrap this bad boy up. Dominic, is getting late, so thank you guys as always for listening. You can check us out on Twitter. Dominic is at DStalworth5. I'm at RegulusMB. The podcast is at Supapod, SUPAPOD. Supapod.com is the website. You can check us out there. It has all of our previous podcasts, as well as links to all the places you can find us, including YouTube, where there's a video version of this podcast. You can also check us out in all of the audio forums, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify. And until next time, guys, talk to you later.
All right, see ya.